What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we about to have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to come on out today to hang out with your boy. I appreciate y'all so much. We are going to break down some of the news from the week. I'm pretty sure there's no way you could have escaped it, but there's a lot of news going on with this writer strike. I'll try and explain it as best I can and basically talk about the ins and the outs and what this could mean, because it is going to affect you some way, somehow. We got some Blade updates, and then we got some Fantastic Four news to talk about, I guess. And then, of course, we got to talk about them. Yes, that's right. We got to talk about Ezra Miller, because it's almost like we can't have just a couple days without talking about Ezra Miller in some way, shape, or form. But we're going to get to all of that later. First, we have to go ahead and say what's up to the people that have made it out tonight. Let's see who we got. We got my man John Robertson. What's going on, sir? Thank you so much for being here. Dex, what's going on? Thank you so much. Sorry for the mix-up, but I'm glad you're here. 60 plus reviews. Hello. Good to see you. We got the homie Deborah. Hello, ma'am. Good to see you as always. Another top vet in the building. Come through. We got the mod squad, and you already know what to do. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You know, by the way, that's the only way you're gonna be able to comment. You have to actually subscribe. Look, and guess what? Just for y'all, it's free. That's right. I'm not charging nobody nothing. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, and you can go ahead and hit the like too. And it's all free. That's right. All of it is free. You get to weigh in, throw your comments in. I may be able to get to them. I might not. Either way, you could join the eFam and the eChat and get in there and have your opinions heard. And like I said, it's free. Y'all don't like free? Just go ahead and do it. But thank you so much, Rims, to you and the mod squad. We got Jesus or Jesus. Hello. Good to see you. My man, Jason Rodriguez. What's going on? Thank you so much for being here. We got Tame, my man. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I have not grabbed them yet, but I will be on my way probably tomorrow. But thank you so much. Minister Crush, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, Ms. Harper. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Are you working today? I don't know if you're working. I don't know if you're watching later, but either way, I appreciate you. And shout out to the replay gang if you're watching a little bit later. Let's see. My man Didier is in the building. What's going on, sir? Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Oh, come on now. Another vet. Kimmy J. Hello. Good to see you, ma'am. Come through. We got Zia Latrice. Hello, ma'am. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Bougie. Hello. Good to see you. Dorian, what is up? How are you? Come on through. Stephanie, good to see you. Thank you so much. Tasha, hello. Good to see you as well. Who else I saw? There we go. My man Gray. What is going on? Thank you so much. Let's see. There we go. My man Reese. What's going on? Finisher T'Challa Lego helmet. That is awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Corey, hello. Good to see you. Rachel, what's up? Treese, thank you so much for coming back. I'm sorry. We had Treese, and now we got Latrice. Okay, I just want to make sure I ain't mix those up. Latrice, hello. Good to see you too. Let's see. Shauna, you back? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Who else? Come through. We got another vet. Mod Squad with SJ Evans. Hello, ma'am. Good to see you. Let's see. My man CJ is back. Good to see you too. Thank you so much. Tyra, hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Wilbur, what's up? Thank you for coming back. Let's see. Easy, hello. What's up? Kenny, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. My man Derek, what's going on? Thank you so much. We got Terrence, hello. Good to see you. Sean, what's up, man? How are you? Who else? Shaquay, hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Leandra, I see you. What's up? Metal X, hello. Ty, hello. Chill Spot, what's up? Rebecca, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Ism Schism, hello. Who else do we see? Mo Better, what's going on? Thank you so much. Optimus Fine, hello. River, hello. Let's see. My man Puma Lee, what is going on. And Cal Payne, what's up? And shout out to everybody that has made it out tonight. I really, really appreciate you guys coming out and just hanging out so we could talk about some of this entertainment news. Let's see. We got a first comment here. Derek, what you got? E-Man, yo, E-Man, why didn't you tell me my Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was suspect? I'm so disappointed. Poor Adam. Bro, I posted my spoiler-free review like earlier this week. I told y'all the skinny. I told y'all what was going on with that movie, in my opinion, anyway. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Turn them notifications on. I posted my review 2 times. Posted on YouTube, posted on Facebook, shared it on Twitter. I don't know what to tell you, man. Listen, some people are loving the movie, right? And like for me, I still think it's a good movie, Volume 3. But I just don't think it's as great as some people are propping it up to be. Now they're of course entitled to their opinion, but there were some things that kind of didn't work for me, and that's just what it is. But I still think it was good. It's just wild to me because now, and I guess we could kind of entertain this. I don't know how many people have seen the movie yet or not, but after seeing this movie, a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, now Guardians is the best trilogy ever in the MCU. And I'm like, ever? The best? Now, again, I'm not saying the movie is bad. I'm not even saying the trilogy is bad. I think that the trilogy and the movie, Volume 3, are very good. But the best? Did Captain America go down in a plane for nothing? Captain America, save y'all for S.H.I.E.L.D. for nothing? My man gave y'all, everybody been all hyped up about hallway scenes and stuff. My man gave you the first elevator scene, And then, Civil War done gave you Black Panther and Spider-Man at the same time. Ever? The best trilogy ever? Even Spider-Man got something to say about that. Homecoming wasn't the best, but it was good. Homecoming was a good introduction. Far From Home, that was cool. It was cool. No Way Home. No Way Home made a lot of money during the pandemic. Okay, a lot of y'all went back and see. And let me just say this. Nobody was talking about Volume 2 for a long time. Not a lot of y'all was real on Volume 2 for a long time. Y'all was not caping for Volume 2 of Guardians for a long time. But now it's the best trilogy ever? Really? All right. But listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled. That's okay. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the past. I remember when y'all was clowning Volume 2. I actually didn't have a big problem with it, but I remember. Okay? I remember how y'all was out here talking about what kind of Guardians is this? What galaxy are they protecting out there in Volume 2? I remember y'all was not here for the feels. Y'all was not here for the emotions. Okay? Y'all were not here for the daddy issues. Y'all didn't like that movie, but now that's the best? Didn't I ask y'all? Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I have to stay on this for a second. When I asked y'all not too long ago, what were your top 5 Marvel movies? Almost 95% of y'all had Cap 2 in y'all top 5 Marvel movies. Maybe 10% of y'all put Volume 1. Maybe. How you gonna be the best ever and you ain't even at the top 5? Okay. Listen, all I'm saying is I remember I was there. I was there when Civil War came. I was personally excited for Black Panther, and I remember y'all. Spider-Man had the internet broken. Spider-Man, the first introduction to the MCU, broke the internet. But now, Guardian, that's the best. Okay, whatever. I don't know what y'all listen. You know, I try to tell people, like, look, I'm not saying what you should hate and what you should love and what you should like. I do try to tell people, though, you might want to sleep on it. Them hot takes, sometimes you want to sleep on it. And if you still got that opinion, that's fine. But woo, y'all just threw all that out the window. Woo. Not me. I don't know. But Derek, yeah, I got my review, bro. Go and check it out if you missed it. But I gave y'all my take. Like I said, I go watch the movie. Go watch Volume 3. For those of y'all that haven't seen it yet, I would just say that Volume 3 is a good ending to a trilogy. It ends off the characters very well, right? Like it tells their story. Rocket is the main, story being told. Good villains, and stuff like that. Go watch it. I wasn't even trying to like get into this, but like now I heard some other people were saying like, yo, is the MCU back? I can't say that because one, James Gunn is leaving, right? He's done with the MCU. He's doing DC stuff. So to sit here and think that the MCU is going to pick up where James Gunn left off, I can't say that. I've already told y'all, I got a whole video on the 4 things that are kind of like giving me trepidation on the Marvels coming up. It's definitely, at least from what I perceive right now, I don't see that hitting another $1 billion. And it might, I don't know where it's gonna go. But yeah, Marvel, and then we got this whole writer strike, which we're gonna talk about a little later. I told y'all I'm not gonna get back on the Marvel in terms of thinking that it's gonna be back where it was until 2024, 2025. I need about a year, if that, and I might need more. But anyway, y'all, if y'all have seen Volume 3, let me know what you think about it. Don't spoil it for people though, because people they still gonna watch it. But yeah, it's the best trilogy. That's just funny to me. All right, let's see what you got. Marcus, what you got? Hey, bro, I really miss catching these lives. Replay gang. Okay, cool. I couldn't disagree more with your Mantis take. I really want to see what happens with her next. Okay, that's okay. If you want to see what's more with her, that's fine. I just don't see the way that and I'm trying not to spoil it, the way that they ended her story. I don't know what you're going to show. Are you going to the theater to see more of that? I'm not. If the Disney Plus special comes out with just Mantis, is everybody tuning into that? I could probably skip it. It was a struggle just to get myself to watch the holiday special. And it wasn't bad, but it was like, yo, let me just put this on in the background. You know what I'm saying? Mantis, matter of fact, all of the Guardians, all of them, they started off as C-list characters, right? I'm talking about from Volume 1. The whole guard, even if you was a comic book reader, they were C-list characters. After that, yes, the first volume, man, that got them up there. They became like B to maybe even A-list quality in terms of like name recognition. But they were always recognized as a group. Nobody was out here sitting here like, yo, Drax is my favorite, Mantis is my favorite. You probably struggle with having the individual characters be name brand. After even the trilogy, I would say the most recognizable is still going to be Star-Lord because of Chris Pratt. But when they not together, the characters individually might have went from D-list to C-list. So, I mean, and that's fine if you're interested in Mantis. I mean, I'm not checking for C-list characters. At this stage in the game, we 15 years deep into the MCU. 15 years. And we still checking for C-list? So, yeah, hey, we just going to have to agree to disagree on that one, bro. But I'm I don't care. If she comes back or if she's featured or if they do some multiverse stuff or whatever, fine. But right now, I'm like, man, I'm good on that. But thank you so much for that. Derek, what you got? Marvel gets an invite to the Red Wedding. Oh man, I ain't invite nobody to the Red Wedding now. I ain't going that far with it. But thank you so much, Derek. I appreciate you. Let's see. Who else are we good? I think we all caught up. Okay. So let's kind of kick this off. We unfortunately have to start off with some bad news, but we've done this, we've covered this before, and that is with a Jamie Foxx update. So far, what we've heard is that Jamie's been better, but at the same time, his family is asking to pray for him. It says here that Jamie Foxx remains hospitalized more than 3 weeks after suffering a medical emergency, and those closest to him say he needs all the prayers and well wishes his fans can muster. While his exact condition remains secret, tightly guarded by his family, we've spoken with the sources close to Jamie to echo the same plea: pray for Jamie. All right. So that's definitely not exactly the best of news to hear, because we were just hearing how, you know, Martin Lawrence, even Kevin Hart came out and said, yo, he's doing better, you know. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't kind of concern me that, like, after 3 weeks you're still in the hospital and it's not like sounding the best. Now, we did get one additional update, and this was from Jamie himself. And it was on his Instagram where he said, appreciate all the love, feeling blessed. So I love that. I'm glad that, you know, my man is able to, like, you know, post, I'm assuming, hopefully on his own. But I'd be lying if I said I was not concerned about this, because just being in the hospital for that long, you know, a lot of people are speculating that it was an aneurysm or it was a heart attack or maybe even a stroke. But either way, you know, it's a sad situation, but we are just hoping that he is able to make a speedy recovery, and definitely sending all the prayers, thoughts, and well wishes to his friends and family, and those closest to him. But let's move on. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated on that if anything changes. We do have some other news, just some quick stuff. Do y'all remember? God, when was this? I think this was 93. Do y'all remember Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone? So apparently there's gonna be a reboot coming. I didn't know that. But apparently he's gonna be coming back for this Cliffhanger reboot. It says that he's back for more high altitude excitement. He's going to reprise his iconic role as Gabe Walker, search and rescue mountain climber and foiler of terrorists in the new reboot of the 1993 Cliffhanger. Okay. I mean, they said it was iconic. I mean, I guess. I mean, look, I'm not, like, I remember Cliffhanger a little bit, but not really. Like, I remember it was a movie that Stallone did, right? I don't know if I'd say iconic, though. I mean, Rocky is iconic. You know, I wouldn't say Cliffhanger was iconic. But I don't know. Like, are y'all down for this? Do y'all want to see it? I have zero interest in this. And that's, you know, that's no slight against Sly, you know, Stallone, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, Sly getting a little older, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you just gonna be on the mountain on the radio or something? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know if y'all interested in this or not. I'm nothing about this so far is telling me that I gotta watch this, and I'm not really all that interested. But maybe you are, and if you are, let me know. Let's see. We're not gonna stop there. We do have some more news on Gladiator 2. Now, I told y'all about this, that this was coming out. Ridley Scott is coming back. This is, in case y'all forget, one of the top movies back in the day, especially with Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? Like, that was like one of the biggest things of the whole movie. One of the best moments. But this was a good film. This was a very, very good film for the time. Really got the people going. Joaquin Phoenix was in there. And now they're talking about doing a sequel, which is going to take place like 30 years after Russell Crowe's character dies. And I believe it's going to take place, I think it's going to focus on his son, or something like that. So either way, there have been like some nice little developments with this. I believe Denzel Washington is actually going to be in this as well. But look, they just added some quality. Okay, because we just got an update that none other than Pedro Pascal, that's right, Mando himself, is going to be joining the Gladiator 2. And that, to me, is definitely an addition. You have my attention. I am also interested because I ain't seen Pedro Pascal join nothing that's been a miss so far. I mean, this man has like a really, really good record of picking solid things to be in. And even when he's a supporting actor, like, he's pretty good. So I like this addition. I like this casting. I don't know who he's going to play or what, but this does have my attention. The cat, first of all, you have Denzel coming back, so Denzel coming in, that to me lets me know that y'all about to give this man something fire. You about to give this man some work to do. Then you bringing in Pascal in this too. Woo! Okay, and Ridley Scott coming back. Listen, I'm here for this. I'm here for this. But y'all let me know, how do you feel about this news with Pedro Pascal coming in? Does this excite you for Gladiator 2? Did you not even care about it? Did you even watch the first one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's see. Let's move. Then we got, now, have y'all watched this? Do y'all watch Yellowstone? Because I'm gonna trust y'all on this. I've heard nothing but positive things about Yellowstone. Yellowstone is one of those Taylor Sheridan shows, similar to, what is it, like 1863 or 19? I don't know what it's called. What else he does? He does King of Tulsa. I've watched King of Tulsa. It's okay. Like, I wouldn't say it's like the greatest, but it's watchable. Like, I watched it. It was all right. That one has Sly Stallone on there. But I heard Yellowstone is like, that's it, right? Like, this is the bread and butter. And this thing is already like 5 seasons deep. And like, again, it's been super popular from what I heard. However, there's a bump in the road. And that is Kevin Costner, the main guy. Like, he the main character. He might not be coming back after season 5. And this is what was reported here. Get this out of my face. Says Kevin Costner is not returning to Yellowstone after season 5. Sources close to production tell ET. The news comes after reports of alleged drama between the star and the co-creator, Taylor Sheridan, over the actor's filming commitments to the remaining episodes of the current season. Well, that sucks. It's kind of hard to have like a show without the main character and the main actor. Then again, they could always recast. But in the event that they don't, maybe they do a rewrite or something. I don't know. But from what I've heard from other places, was that like either, one place was saying Kevin Costner didn't want to be on set for more than a week to do basically his acting or his gig or whatever. And then other sources were saying that maybe Kevin Costner, because he is kind of like a director, producer, maybe he had some ideas and there were creative differences and they were butting heads or something. Don't really know. Either way, it's looking like this ain't gonna happen. So Now again, for those of y'all that have watched this, if he leaves and he's gone, would you want to see him recast? Again, I only know that this is the main character. I don't know if there are other characters that could step up. I don't know if this could go, like, can this work? Can they do it without him? If you have watched this, let me know in the comments, because I haven't watched this, but I've heard that this is a big deal. But yeah, let me know. I'm very curious. Or maybe this will turn y'all off. Maybe if you watching, you're like, man, Kevin Costner was the bread and butter of this. I'm good. I'm out. I don't know. But y'all let me know in the comments down below. Let's see. Nelson, what you say? Yellowstone needs more representation. Does it? Oh, okay. I mean, listen, I mean, this looked like a Western cowboy thing. So I just assume minorities were not going to be in there, or if they are in there, it ain't going to be for the best reasons. I don't know the time period, but look, anytime we go backwards, it ain't really always a good thing. So, but thank you so much for that, Nelson. I appreciate you. Let's see. Okay, we got some more news here, more casting news. Mortal Kombat. Now, I've told y'all this before. I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I have been in love with the first Mortal Kombat movie. The second one was trash, but I still watch it. Then even the reboot was not that great. Okay, it was not that great. It had a couple good things in there that I enjoyed, because Sub-Zero was a goon in the whole movie. The first, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes with Scorpion, greatness. Cole didn't work. But, with the reboot, I felt as though, like, okay, I just need y'all to, like, do better, right? And clearly they were setting up a sequel. And one of the things that they wanted to do for the sequel, and if, again, spoiler alert, but one of the things they teased at the end was that they were going to add new characters, and one of those characters was actually Johnny Cage. And a lot of people was like, well, who you going to get to play Johnny Cage? I know some people were talking about the wrestler, The Miz, to get him, because he just looks like Johnny Cage from the games and everything. But it looks like they made another pick, and I'm a little conflicted on this. So we actually got our new Johnny Cage for the new Mortal Kombat, and I don't think it's somebody everybody expected. I don't think it is. And it is none other than Carl Urban. That's right. Carl Urban, who you probably recognize more recently from The Boys. He is coming in to play Johnny Cage in the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, my man looks just like Kano. Like, if y'all wanted Carl Urban, why didn't y'all just cast Kano? Why didn't y'all give him Kano? Because y'all gave Kano to some random actor don't nobody know. But I'm saying, if you had given him Kano, he would have crushed it. He would have crushed it as Kano. But Johnny Cage? Now, let me be clear. Let me be very clear. I am a huge fan of Carl Urban. Carl is a fantastic actor, right? I like almost everything I've seen him in has been very good. Matter of fact, let me give y'all a quick recommendation. There was this movie that came out. I don't think it got any press, anything like that, but it was one of those low-key type of red box type of things that if you saw it, you probably liked it. Go check out a movie called The Loft. It's The Loft, Loft, with Carl Urban in there. Good movie, at least from what I recall. But I like Carl Urban. Carl Urban can act. He can do he can do anything. My man was Judge Dredd. He's phenomenal. I'm just saying he wouldn't have been my first pick for Johnny Cage, right? Now, I'm not saying he can't play Johnny Cage. I'm just saying, like, you had other options, And I guess the question is, like, Y'all gonna have Carl doing them splits? Is that what y'all finna do? Because Johnny Cage that's his signature move. He got the splits. Y'all gonna have to act, maybe the stunt double do the work. Okay, all right. I guess. I don't know. I mean, listen, I've always told y'all, and I'm not gonna be a hypocrite with this. I've always told y'all that like acting should be the first requirement whenever you're talking about fan casting or casting a role or anything like that. Is what's that person's acting ability? Well, you know what? Carl checks that off perfectly. My man, he's got the acting chops. He could do anything. Now, it's a bonus if you can get the looks. It's a bonus. Well, let's look at this again. I don't know. I guess if you shave off the beard, yeah, give him some sunglasses. I don't know. It's just Carl Urban don't scream Johnny Cage to me. But anyway, what do y'all think about this? Does this excite you? Are you interested? Are you turned off? Do you have more questions about whether this Mortal Kombat sequel is going in the right direction or not after this news? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. What we got? Brooke, what you got? Your skin is glowing like butter and palm oil. Well, thank you very much, ma'am. I took a shower and I put some cocoa butter on, so thank you for that. And it's probably the lighting too. I don't know. But thank you so much, Brooke. I appreciate you. Let's see. I wonder if they're gonna kill off Cole, because I know ain't no way they heard that reaction for Cole and they just gonna keep on going with that. Do we need this? I don't know if we should talk about this or not. Let me see. What else we got to talk about? We got a bunch of other stuff. Do we want to talk about Star Wars? Yeah. All right. I guess we could do a little Star Wars. Look, it ain't even really all that serious with Star Wars at this point. Like Star Wars, it's such a complicated relationship with them. Having no plans, screwing up the trilogy and coming out with all these different announcements and stuff. And it's just like now we just hearing all this little stuff, from Star Wars that I don't even know if these are like, it just adds to the mess. Because right now we've already had Kathleen Kennedy was like, well, there is no Kevin Feige movie. That don't exist. And then Kevin Feige and, the writers were like, yes, we had something, whatever. So Star Wars don't even know what Star Wars be talking about sometimes. And then we got another example of that, like with this. So apparently the Star Wars just contradicted Jon Favreau's Mandalorian timeline. So an official Star Wars timelines book was released. And according to this book, this official canon book, it had only been mere months that passed between Grogu and Din's emotional goodbye in the season 2 finale and their reunion during the Book of Boba Fett. Okay, I mean, I guess that could make sense, maybe. But then Jon Favreau was like, nah, it's been like between 0 and 2 years that have basically talked about, their separation. So it's like, like who's running this? Like, who's in control? Like, y'all, Star Wars out here, Star Warsing again. Why can't y'all just like get it together? Y'all not in the same building? Like, nobody can. Y'all can't. How you gonna publish a whole book and say it's canon? And the person that literally developed the Mandalorian is like, nah, that ain't what happened. What are y'all doing? And we supposed to like give you our money for stuff in the future? Just like I said, it'd be like little things. And not only that, again, I told y'all with that whole Kevin Feige thing, I told y'all that they were gonna have Michael Waldron, the Doctor Strange writer. He was the one that was writing the script and everything. He was getting started on it for Kevin Feige's movie. Well, guess who they was about to have be a director on there? Not just one, but 2. That's right. The Russo brothers were going to do Kevin Feige's movie in Star Wars. And they went and said this during the interview. We love Star Wars. There were early conversations. There were some early conversations with us. Kevin Feige is a huge Star Wars fan, and there were some early conversations about maybe teaming up with Kevin to do Star Wars. So nothing was like pen on paper, but it was like, yo, Kevin Feige was about to give us some. When you have a nerd like Kevin Feige, and I say that in a loving way, when you have a nerd like Kevin Feige, I've told y'all, he's more nerdy about Star Wars than he is Marvel. And you was going to bring the Russo brothers, and you had a script going on at the same time, and then Kathleen Kennedy out here talking about like this never existed. This is why I have trust issues. This is why I have trust issues with Star Wars. This is why. And then what else do we have? I think Kathleen actually said something too, because she's always dropping nuggets. Kathleen Kennedy is looking to James Bond for how to eventize Star Wars movies. She said here, I've often brought up James Bond. That's every 3 to 4 years. And there wasn't this pressure to feel like you had to have a movie every year. I feel like that was very important to Star Wars. We have to eventize this. It's much better to tell the truth, she says, that we're going to make these movies when they're ready to be made and release them when they're ready to be released. Now that I can get down with. That I'm okay with. Because I don't want you sitting here forcing these movies out without a plan, by the way, and without real direction. Don't be willy-nilly with these movies. Make them feel like a real event. The only reason, Force Awakens and those other Star Wars movies made billions of dollars is because of the name. But if you start to tarnish the name with bad quality, those profits are going to go down. People not going to trust you as much anymore. So if you want to take 3-4 years, fine. Take your time. Just get it right. But anyway, that's all I got for Star Wars. Like I said, it's a bunch of little nonsense that's happening with them here and there. I'm still waiting for them to just get it together, just drop some fire so we can get back on track. But y'all let me know, what did you think about some of this news? Are you confident that, Kathleen is saying she wants to make these a big event? So maybe there's a plan. Do those other little hiccups bother you or not? I don't know, but y'all let me know in the comments below. JM, what you got? I know you'll address this, but will we ever get Blade? Damn. Yes, I will address this. That is going to be a topic I'm coming up on very, very soon. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for that support. But yes, we will be getting on that. Hold on, my man Terrence. Thank you so much for the $10 Cash App. You said for the writer in you. I appreciate that support, man. Thank you so much, Terrence. Shout out to you for that. Man, listen, all the writers need some help right now. What else do we have here? I don't even know. Okay, let me just talk about this real quick. Zack Snyder. Now, I told y'all that he had a whole event, SnyderCon, right? And at this event, basically, it was for fans of the Snyderverse. They got a chance to get together, watch the Snyder Cut and all these other things on the big screen, IMAX, all of that. And what I really personally appreciate and what I loved about it was the fact that it was all going to charity, primarily for one of the charities was in his daughter's name, who had, unfortunately passed away from suicide. So it was all for a good cause, right? But while people are there, they're going to ask questions, And while people are asking questions, Zack Snyder's going to say some things that, in my opinion, I don't even know if they needed to be said, because it's kind of like you're at an event with people who will hang on your every word, and you also don't want to give people false hope, right? But he did say a couple things I'm not going to go into all of them, but one thing kind of stood out, and it was basically part of his vision. And one of the things that he wanted to talk about was Wonder Woman's origin. And apparently, Zack Snyder wanted the DCU EU's Wonder Woman to be part Kryptonian. So, speaking at the event, he had ended up saying that the Greek god Zeus was going to possibly be a Kryptonian. Possibly. He goes on to say the whole thing of whether magic and the gods, there's a version where, okay, that's cool, I guess, but there's also the more scientific, where do gods come from? We had played around with that quite a bit. And this is where me and probably the deepest of Snyder fans definitely divide. And one of the critiques I've had with Zack Snyder for a long time, I've praised this man for being very daring, especially on a visual level. He gives you amazing action sequences and great visuals. He struggles with story. He struggles with story when it comes to existing IPs. What do I mean? When there's an existing IP like Batman, Superman, whatever, he gets so deep into this stuff because he's a fan. He gets so deep into it that he pulls these ideas out of nowhere that don't always resonate with the general audience. They might resonate with a small few, but they're not going to connect with everybody. Case in point, and I've said this before, it's always been a huge mistake. And what was it, Batman v Superman or whatever, to just automatically pull out Doomsday? You just gonna waste an entire movie, the death of Superman, by forcing Doomsday in prematurely? And here's the other kicker. On top of that, according to him, that wasn't even the real Doomsday. That was like a pre-Doomsday. So what did that even mean? You was gonna bring him back and then have Superman die again? Like, what? And now you over here talking about that like Zeus was a Kryptonian? Do you know how much that just takes everything out? That takes everything out of the whole wonder of having just different elements of the universe, right? And again, I'm glad he didn't go through it. I'm glad he didn't do it. But I'm like, why is that even a conversation? Like the comics are not broken, right? The comics already gave you 2-3 different origin stories for Wonder Woman. Why you even got to entertain? Well, you know what? What if he was Kryptonian? What if there was Krypton? Why? Why would they have to be Kryptonian? Is that the only planet with people? Like, why can't just the gods just be gods? Maybe they came from another dimension. Maybe they just came from space. I don't know. Everybody got to be Kryptonian. So what? Is Wonder Woman like, Superman's long lost cousin now? Like, what? Where was this gonna go? Whew. Anyway, this is one of those reasons why I'm more excited for Snyder to do Rebel Moon on Netflix, because there are no expectations. Don't nobody know what this is about. Don't nobody know, what should happen or shouldn't happen. That now my man's got free reign to just tell whatever story he wants. Ain't nobody gonna be upset about, well, you didn't do it this way, and that's not the way that Rebel Moon is supposed to happen. No, ain't none of that. Just go rock out with Netflix. Don't touch Superman no more. Don't touch nothing DC no more, please. Because all this other stuff you talking about, these are like those spin-off comics in alternate universes that just exist and not everybody knows about them. So anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about Zack Snyder pitching the idea, just throwing it out there, that maybe, Zeus, all the Olympic gods and stuff, maybe that was Kryptonian. Yeah, why not? They all got heat vision. Why not? Why not? They all can fly. They all super strong. Why not? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. By the way, in case y'all haven't noticed, I did turn off the mid live ads. So hopefully you guys are having a better experience and you're not getting the interruptions. I was going back and I was reading some of y'all comments, and I mean, again, I don't control when the ads pop up or not. Like I said, it was probably something just to kind of help, generate more ad revenue for creators, and that's cool. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sacrifice, I don't know, a couple of bucks that I earn from some ads if that means that y'all gonna have a bad viewing experience. If y'all gonna have if it's interrupting this and y'all can't chat or y'all can't hear me or whatever, nah, it's not worth all that. So I killed it. I turned it off. So hopefully everything is cool. If y'all are still getting ads though, please let me know, and then I'll file a complaint to YouTube and see if I can get that rectified. All right, Didier, what you got? I noticed the seeds for this in Man of Steel, where they found the ship from previous Kryptonian ship. See, he was always playing. He was always playing around, man. Like, and that's Zack Snyder needed to be stopped. He needed to be stopped, and I say that again in a loving and in a respectful way, because I do respect this guy's craft in terms of how he makes movies. It's just, my goodness, sometimes you got to pull the reins. You know what? The other thing I've always said is, like, he needs a co-director. He needs somebody else that could be like, look. You go handle that action. You go handle that big old fight scene. I'm going to take care of the story and the actual characters. You do that, I guarantee you Zack Snyder could be on Russo brother level. I promise you. If somebody else could come in and help him with the story, and I'm talking about if he came back to DC, if somebody can help him with story and characters, he could make Russo brother level stuff. But I don't think that would ever happen. All right, let's move on. All right, let's get to the big thing here. Here we are. This was part of my nightmare, part of it. I've warned you guys about the writer's strike before, and I've told you guys about the problems that come along with the writer's strike. The last one was not until 15 years ago, I want to say, and it was bad. It was bad out in them streets, okay? The biggest tragedy, I've told y'all this before, was Heroes. If you've watched Heroes, that was probably the most potential of a great show. I mean, that show was almost like X-Men in like modern day. Oh, everything that happened during that writer's strike was terrible. Everything that was good. I used to love the 4400, the original 4400 that came on USA, on the USA channel. So good. That show was so good. The Wire, final season. The last season, one of the greatest shows ever made. The last season suffered because of the writer's strike. It's not a joke. Because of the writer's strike, you know what else happened? That's when we got all this reality TV nonsense. You know why? Because you don't need writers for reality TV. The producers can do that. They can do all of that stuff on their own. So for me, it was like, oh my God, please do not come again with this writer strike stuff, because it's going to affect us. It's going to affect the things that we love. Some of the shows that you are in love with, they might suffer. Some of the movies, which we're going to talk about, might suffer. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a little ins and outs as to what the writer strike means. I'll go over some of the main points, just so you have like a basic understanding of it. And then we could talk about, like, what's been impacted and like why this is happening. Because like I said, this ain't something that's just like, like you will feel this eventually. You will feel it. So here's the thing. The writers right now, why are they striking? So streaming and its ripple effects are the center of the dispute. The Writers Guild says that even as serious budgets have increased, writers' shares of the money has consistently shrunk. So, in other words, those are the residuals that they're talking about. Basically, back in the day, when a writer would write something, let's say like Seinfeld, right? Seinfeld, Friends, The Office, something like that. Whatever writer wrote that, clearly they were getting paid obviously good money while the show was going on because people were getting paid like weekly, etc. But let's say the show Netflix buys it, right? And when Netflix buys it, for a whole new generation that never watched those shows, oh man, now the streamers, they're getting like all this residual money, so the other writers would like get money off of that. It's almost no different than music, right? If you go make a great song, a great album or whatever, and let's just say, you own your masters and stuff like that, you're going to get residuals every time it's played. I mean, look at Mariah Carey. Every time Christmas is about to come around, what's the song she sang, the Merry Christmas song she sang or whatever? She getting paid off of that. Every time Target run that ad with her in there, she get paid. Mariah Carey don't have to work no more. She good. So it's the same thing with the writers, and nobody's saying the writers are making millions of billions of dollars, but that's their livelihood. That's what they do, and if a show or a movie, gets new life, or if it gets bought out, or if it gets super popular again, they should get a piece of that pie. And that's all they saying, right? So anyway, it goes on to say streaming services use of smaller staffs, aka the mini rooms. Now, this is also a problem too, because when they have these mini rooms, it's basically saying like, yo, in the past, we needed a minimum of like 6 writers. I'm making that up. Let's say 6 writers. And those 6 writers would have to be responsible for writing 24 episodes in a season. Well, streaming is different. You don't really get 26 episodes anymore. You might get just 6. So now the studios are like, yo, why we got to pay 6 people to write 6 episodes of a show? How about we only get 4? But the thing is, while that might save some money, from the studio's perspective, it hurts the writers, because what ends up happening is a lot of times the writers, they get experience when they get into those big rooms. When you're in a room, and let's say you're not the head writer, right? You're not Tyler Perry. You're not the main person. You're not Taylor Sheridan or whatever. The other writers, they get in there. That's how they gain their experience. So then they can go off and they can do bigger, better things off of whatever they learn. But if you keep shrinking the room, guess what else is going to happen? You're going to shrink the pay. Because if we got less writers and less episodes, why we got to pay you as much, right? So all of that stuff is kind of like becoming an issue with them. So it says here the lack of a regular seasonal calendar in streaming has also depressed pay further. Let's go down a little bit here. So like one thing that you're going to see a very quick impact is going to be late night talk shows. So Jimmy Kimmel Live, Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, all of these shows live off of writers that write, like every day. Saturday Night Live, they need writers that write to the last minute. Like literally that day, they still writing up their scripts to that point. So you're probably going to see a lot of reruns on late night shows at this point. So, if you're one of those people that watches those things, it's not going to be current. You're going to see a lot of reruns with those. So people that like Yellow Jackets, I heard Yellow Jackets is a really good show. That's pausing its production right now because of the writer's strike at this point. It says production on finished screenplays can proceed on as planned without the benefit of last minute rewrites. And this is something to kind of also consider. So James Gunn was just talking about this earlier when he was like, yo, every time he directs a movie, because he usually writes them, he will, like in the middle of a scene, he'll be like, you know what? Nah, say this instead. Nah, I don't like that line. Yo, how about you try and change this and do that? He could do that as the head writer, right? And usually when you have a movie, and Marvel does this all the time, by the way, they will have the head writer watching the stuff play out, because just because it's written don't mean it's going to work, when it actually gets executed. And they'll be able to make flies on the change. They'll be able to be like, nah, don't say that, change that. They could be like, man, hey, how about this? Grief is love persevering, or something like that. Like they that's how that happens. But if you don't have the writers there, you can't do that. All you have to do is stick to whatever's on the script if it's currently in production. So it also says here, in general, Hollywood's other unions, so the directors and the actors and stuff like that, they are forbidden by their contracts to join the current strike, and they must continue working, even though both members and leaders have expressed solidarity with the WGA. So just to kind of give you guys a little bit more clarity, the writers have their own union. The actors have their union, and so do the directors. And the actors right now, I don't know how much. I know the directors are kind of like in solidarity with them. They like, yeah, right on. But the actors, they like, yo, we can't act without them. All actors do is recite what the writers give them. So if the writers ain't writing, the actors ain't acting. They can't do it. Now, granted, they are obligated to finish out whatever's contractually done. So I think what needs to be kind of thought about here is, how long is this strike going to last? If this strike lasts for a week or two, we good. Okay, we good. The last strike, how long was it? I forget how long it was. I know it was more than 90 days. But it was months. I know that. The last strike lasted for months, and you noticed, if you watch TV and movies, you noticed a significant dip in quality very clear. Thank you for that. It was 100 days. Thank you for that, SJ. 100 days. So, this is not something that we really want to play around with, because we're the ones that consume this content, but unfortunately, the actors and directors, they still got to do their job. They cannot just stop. Even though I think that would send a stronger message, they can't just stop yet because of their contracts. Let's see, what else do they have? Now, because this would be the first writer strike in the streaming era, there is no template for how they will look months down the line. And that's the key difference here. We ain't never had streaming before this. When the last contract was up and all that, TV was different. All of this stuff was different. Like I said, we had 25, 26 episode TV shows. We had things coming on every week. Now that's different. Streaming shows are like, man, we good, man. Just give us like 6 episodes and we'll stretch it. So like all of this changes up. Now, this does add in an additional question, and I've asked this myself about James Gunn. What do you do with the people that are wearing both hats? What do you do with the people like Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry writes, but he also owns everything. He's a producer. James Gunn, he was a writer for the vast majority of his career, and he just now got the gig of being a co-CEO. So now he's on that upper echelon now, right? He changed job positions. So it's kind of like, well, what do you do? They call them here, and they highlight it here, the hyphenates, and that including showrunners who act as head writers, but they're also producers or they're performer writers, and people like Quinta Brunson of Abbott Elementary, who do all of the above, are allowed to do they're allowed to do the non-writing parts of their jobs under union rules, though that work may be minimal as they seek solidarity with the writing staff. So, Abbott Elementary, that's also going to be something that's going to be affected. If you like that show, that's going to get hurt. And I would argue the writing is the best part of that show. If you haven't been watching Abbott Elementary, please do yourself a favor. That show is phenomenal. Go watch that show and support that sister. But yeah, this is the problem for them. So like, yeah, even James Gunn, You can go do other stuff, but you can't go do writing things because you're also a writer, at the same time. So it is definitely a complicated issue, but like, to be honest, it ain't that deep to me. I feel like at this point, you just need to pay these people, and here's the thing. Actually, you know what? I want to roll something real quick. Almost forgot. Let's take a listen to something real quick. All right. I want you to just hear it from their perspective. And I'm sorry, I don't know who, I forget her name, but I believe she is a writer. She's a prominent writer. I'm not sure exactly what she was from, but she did, I think, put on a good explanation of what's going on, so that way you guys get a sense of what's happening. So let's check this out. First of all, let me make sure this audio is good. Oh, no, hold on. That audio is about to be messed up. Hold on. All right, let me get my headphones here. Bingo. All right, let's check this out.
In the writer's room, we're being squeezed smaller and smaller.
You might need sound. Where's the sound? Hold on. Okay, there we go. There was no sound for me. All right, here we go. Sorry.
In the writer's room, we're being squeezed smaller and smaller and asked to work longer and longer periods for less and less money, less and less opportunity, less and less training on the job, so that we could eventually move up the ranks and have more creative ownership. The studios are pressuring the system in a way that makes us gig workers, essentially, like job to job to job, which is how a lot of folks live. But the point of a union is that we don't get treated like that. And when the studios refuse to even talk to us about our reasonable requests for some participation, for some creative ownership, for being valued for the number of years we've put into the job. Right now, if I join a mini room, my salary, my weekly pay is the same as somebody who joined the guild last week. I've been at this for 20 years, and it seems reasonable to me that my work should be valued differently after 20 years on the job. Writers need to be able to go to set, because when you go to set, you learn to produce the show. You learn how to write better. You learn how to interact with the crew and the cast better. You make a better product. Your vision is implemented on set. You need to be able to understand what's happening on the other side of it. After you turn in your script via email, somebody else takes it and films it in a location with real people and real equipment, and it comes to life. If you don't understand that part of it, you'll never be able to move up than somebody just like generating documents in a conference room, which is what the studios are trying to make us into.
Yep. So y'all got most of that. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of sound, but I think you pretty much get the gist of it. Right now, from the writer's perspective, the studios are trying to make them into gig workers, right? So like, it's almost like being an Uber driver or something, nah, you just a contractor. You just somebody that we just pulled off the street, and you can just go ahead and write this project for us. After that, get out of here. That's essentially what's happening. But unfortunately, it is getting a little bit more complicated than that. And I'm gonna get to a lot of y'all questions soon. Don't you worry about it. But we have heard a little bit from the producers. We've heard from the studio heads. And I don't know if it's hitting the same way. I don't know. But let's listen to what some of them are saying. And this is the CEO from Paramount. And he said here, writers are an essential part of creating content that our audiences enjoy, really across platforms. And we hope we can come to a resolution that works for everyone fairly quickly. But it's also fair to say that there's a pretty big gap today. So obviously we've been planning for this. We do have many levers to pull, and that's allowed us to manage through this strike, even if it's for an extended duration. In terms of those levers, we have a lot of, so to speak, content in the can. So with the exception of things like late night, consumers really won't notice anything for a while. Add to that a broad range of reality and unscripted where we're definitely a leader as well as sports, and that's not affected. And so what we can do more in those areas as necessary. And again, we have a leadership position overall. Plus, we have offshore production, which we've been moving to leverage pre-strike. One of the largest libraries, Paramount has one of the largest libraries in media. So many problems with that, so many issues with that. I mean, first of all, you're sitting here talking about like, writers are essential. Then pay them. If they essential, pay them. Like what? Just pay them. Okay, just do that. And I should have mentioned also, the writers have posted what their demands have been. And it's not like they like, yo, you better give us like 50%, 100%. They're not saying none of that. They was like, look, back in the day, we used to get like 6%. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, let's get like that 6% or 5% or whatever. And for a lot of the demands that the writers are making, the studios are like, okay, yeah, we can meet y'all with some of that. Okay, we can do that. But then here's the crux of it too. The writers are like, yo, when it comes to streaming, we need to see the numbers. We need to be able to see, did this show that I created, did it bring in millions of people? Is it getting millions of views? Am I doing better or worse than this company, that company, whatever? And the studios are like, see, what had happened was we don't know how to track them numbers on streaming. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I want y'all to understand what the studio just said. The studio said that they don't know how to track the numbers of people that watch their stuff, and they can't divulge that information. Sir, that's cap. Okay, you can't track your numbers, sir. That's cap again. You don't know where them people come from, sir. That's mocap. You telling me that you don't know how to track the fulfillions of people, sir? That's crap. That what? What? Y'all just gonna sit here telling these bold-faced lies? Y'all know good and well y'all know the numbers. But they out here acting like they can't do it. Get out of here with that nonsense. Hold on. What? Another one. Cap. Lying out here. Stop it. What is wrong with y'all? Acting like people don't understand the basics. Listen, I'd be like this. Oh, y'all don't know how to track your own numbers? Sound like y'all don't know how to do your job. Sound like you need to be replaced if you don't know how to track your own stuff. What are you afraid of? You're afraid that, well, I think, and I'm a paraphrase, but it was reported that apparently they couldn't find, or they didn't want to release the numbers because it would affect the competition and stuff like that. So y'all don't have no problem sitting here talking about, we got the number one rated show. We got the number one show with millions of viewers. We got the highest rate. Y'all had no problems using the numbers to your advantage. But now y'all worried about competition? I threw all my caps. I'm out of cap. I'm out of caps. And then, I hope y'all didn't miss this. They said here, the CEO said that they have a lot of content in the can. That means that they are basically going to weather this out. They're going to weather this storm. Netflix, they got a fulfillion billion times of content. It's out there. We know that. Paramount, they have a lot of content as well, which means they're going to release a lot of stuff in between times. And sadly, it sounds like they about to try and starve these writers out, because the unfortunate thing, writers don't make that kind of money, especially when you live in California. When you live out there, it ain't like living on the, in Alabama or like down south or something like that. The cost of living is pretty high. So like a lot of these writers, they usually have to work multiple jobs just to do that. Everybody can't be Taylor Sheridan. Everybody can't be Damon Lindelof. Like, it's not really the same type of payoff that like a lot of the top actors would get. And y'all know this too. Even actors, every actor ain't getting paid buku bucks. You know, some actors got a room with other people and, you know, sleep on somebody's couch because it's just kind of like that. It's a struggle out there. So again, the writers are not sitting here asking for a crazy amount, but at the same time, the studios are like, we got all this content though. And on top of that, they already talked about how they was going to look for outsourcing. What does that mean? That means that they about to go off to these, you know, other countries, India or whoever, wherever they going out to, and they about to go get them writers out there and actually use them as, you know, contract workers. And they, you know, that they're going to charge far less. They're going to charge far, far less to have foreign workers basically go and do this. And I don't know how long the writers can last, to be honest with you. That's my fear and my concern is like the studios do have a lot of content. Can the writers last another 100 days? We only in what, day 3, 4? Can the writers last that long? And even if they don't last that long, like, what is that going to mean for our TV? I don't want to watch all these crazy reality shows again. I got turned off by reality TV shows because they just stopped being reality. After a certain point, people start to realize, nah, this ain't reality, man. You got the producer all in the background, dancing in the videos, you know what I'm saying? Giving them cues like, yo, go punch Sarah in the mouth right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, like, go pull her hair right now. Like, come on now. Reality shows ain't even all that good no more. And now y'all gonna outsource too? That's just bogus to me. Like, all of this is just bogus. Yeah, so Netflix bragged about this. And then here we go. There was one more producer. One more. All the way at the top at WBD. David Zaslav. This guy right here. Listen to what this man had to say. Just listen to what he had to say. What he believes will bring the impasse to an end, a love for the business and a love for working. We all came into the business because we love storytelling. That's what's going to bring us together. Sir, no, it won't. What will bring y'all together is money. That's all. This man literally sat here and said, oh, you love movies? I love movies. Let us forget about the money and come together. No. And guess what? That's easy for you to say when you just made $250-something million, whatever his bonus was. This man earned hundreds of millions of dollars, got a raise. These CEOs of these studios have been getting raises. I think Bob Iger was like one of the lowest at like 50 million. The rest of them are getting like 75, 100 million, 200 million and bonuses. And you're going to sit here talking about the love of making movies? What? Didn't nobody ask you, please, sir, can I have another script to write, sir? That's not what they asking for. They just want some money to pay their rent. They just want to eat. And you talking about the love of movies? Woo! Man, talk about the have and the have-nots. I tell you, like, that is one of the biggest disconnects I've ever heard and read when it comes to these type of situations. But there's also, once again, another complication. So I told y'all they outsourcing. I told you that they're going to go ahead and use outsource extra content that they already have built up. Here go the other scary thing right here. AI. That's right. And I ain't talking about Allen Iverson. AI is already happening in the studios. Says here, for weeks, multiple studios and streamers have been planning to use AI to generate scripts based on books and other IPs that is in the public domain. They are reliably told here that nearly every studio has already explored this possibility, and that should those plans come to fruition over the weeks and likely months to come, the studios plan to hire writers to rewrite those scripts once the writer strike is over. In other words, they are out here saying, like, you know what? We heard about that Chat GPT and all the AI and stuff. Yo, AI, can you go ahead and write me a script for season 5 of, I don't know, Yellow Jackets or whatever? And guess what? It's going to regurgitate that script, or whatever's in public domain. I don't know, whatever properties that are existing. But here's my concern with that. I am not against AI. I am against Skynet, right? I'm not for Skynet. But the problem with AI so far is the fact that I believe in humanity. And I believe that at some point, people start to recognize the difference, right? Let's say, for example, y'all seen this already because some of y'all probably already did it. Y'all seen how people started changing up their profile pictures with the mid journey and the AIs. And don't get me wrong, some of y'all got some nice looking airbrushes. Okay, some people turned out real nice, looking like astronauts and queens and kangs and all of that. Some of y'all look good, but y'all also look kind of fake. Okay, no shade. I'm just saying the animation is a little too clean sometimes. I know y'all saw this. What was it? Remember when they did the what if Black Panther, the first Black Panther thing, and it was all generated with AI, and y'all seen the what would happen if the celebrities change their race and stuff like that. Listen, a lot of that stuff looks interesting, it's different, but you can still tell it's AI, right? And I'm just saying, even if AI gets better, I do believe at some point the human mind is going to be like, you know what? I want the real thing back. Like, first of all, you got a little too many perfections. Your teeth are a little too straight. Your eyeballs are looking a little too pretty. Like maybe put a little eye booger in there or something. Like, so you got to mix it up a little bit. And I think that the standards are going to change to the point where humans are going to be like, I don't want this AI generated stuff no more. And I say that also because I believe that it's also going to affect the writing as well. Because right now, and thankfully, maybe, hopefully, AI is not like self-conscious to the point where it's thinking on its own. At least I don't think it is. I believe right now AI is still slave to whatever it is programmed. And so far that's been demonstrated because in different things of AI, you still see racial bias. I wonder why. Because whoever programmed them probably had unconscious racial bias. Ha! But my point is AI can only regenerate stuff based off of the past so far. Yeah, they might put it into a new direction, but it's still got to be based on whatever you program it. But it's only going to generate stuff from what's already been there. In other words, and this is just my theory, we're going to get a lot of formulaic stuff. If you watch, like, let's say a horror movie, this is one of my biggest criticisms with a lot of horror movies. The scripts are basically the same. Person walks up, something creepy over there. I wonder, I should go investigate. You go walk into that creepy place, some camera pan rolls around, gives you a couple fake outs, and then a jump scare, and then somebody does something stupid, monster comes out, the hero or person does XYZ, defeats them, day is saved. That's generic horror movies for the past, I don't know, 30 years. So to me, I'm just sitting here thinking like, well, you're just about to have an AI do the same thing that a bunch of writers were already doing. And the problem with that is the fact that you're going to potentially risk not getting original stuff. You're going to potentially not have The Conjuring, Insidious, which I've told y'all all the time. James Wan has found new ways to scare you that are not like other movies. That's the human element. Now, I'll give another counter argument. You also have the idea that, you know what? AI is a tool. I'm not opposed to that. I work in IT, so I get that. It might just be time for some writers to learn how to use AI. Maybe it helps them. Maybe they can polish it up. Maybe it helps save time and they can put their own human element in there. And maybe we will never know the difference. Maybe. But I'm just saying, as a proponent for the arts, I think that from the days that we were like in the caves, right? Back when we was kangs and back when we was cave people, from the time we were drawing on those walls, people have always been attracted to the things that other people make. People have always been attracted to art because of it comes from other people. So I'm really, really hoping that this is not going to take off like that. And I'm hoping that it does get rectified in some capacity, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, yeah, so y'all let me know what's going on, how you feel about the writer's strike. Like I said, you got AI kind of poking its head. The producers are kind of like not, they feeling fine because they got all of this content to wait on. They got AI, they got people in foreign countries that'll probably buck the line and, you know, work for a lot less. You cool with a lot of reality TVs coming up? Now, again, all of this stuff might not happen. But right now, there are certain things that the producers and the showrunners are kind of like, nah, we're not even gonna meet y'all halfway. We're not even gonna come to the table with some of these demands. But anyway, like I said, hopefully this thing does not last forever, but we will have to wait and see. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right. Let me go all the way up because I know I got a lot of comments from some of y'all. Okay, see that one. Give me a sec here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm caught up. Woo, man. All right. Y'all was talking a lot. I know I was talking for a while. So, can't wait to come back and read y'all comments. Let's see. Derek, support E-Man. Hit the like button. Maybe buy some supers. Oh, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Y'all don't have to, but you know, I always appreciate it when you do. Thank you so much for the support. Definitely keeps the lights on. Jesse, what you got? Songwriters get top dollar. I don't get why writers don't. Yeah, I mean, different industry, but very, very similar in terms of like the residuals and stuff. But yeah, they should as well. Thank you so much for that contribution, Jesse. I appreciate you. Zia, what you got? There is no need for AI to write tone deaf scripts without with no human emotion or experience. Most writers are only asking for like 3%. Just pay the writers. Exactly. They're not, like I said, they're not asking for a lot. You know, like again, these CEOs, I'm not saying CEOs shouldn't get paid, but come on now. Y'all wouldn't be getting paid if it was not for the writers. Them AI writers didn't get y'all that 30, 40, $50 million bonus. That was the human writers. Like, come on now. Like, even here's the thing, and this is what kills me with it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-capitalism. I'm fine with making a dollar. I'm fine with if you find something that works and it makes money, do it. Fine, cool, whatever. But don't be just outrageous with this. You know, like it's that corporate greed that goes above and beyond. And the thing is, to be honest, like I haven't heard a good argument from the corporate side, like at all. I've tried to see what they had to say, but I mean, according to Zaslav, you know, as long as you work, we can be fine. And what? No, man. So, you know, paying the like writers are the lifeblood of the industry. I've told y'all so many times a movie will fall completely apart. I don't care how shiny it is. I don't care how many action scenes it's got. If the writing sucks, you gonna get tuned right out of that movie. Or you'll enjoy it for the little shiny things they show you, and you're gonna clock out. You're not gonna remember that movie. You're not gonna care about that movie. It's good writing that makes us remember. It's good writing that connects us with the characters and the story. So yeah, this is not the time to get cheap, in my opinion. But thank you so much, Z. I appreciate you. Didier, what you got? Also, there's no such thing as syndication on streaming networks. And there you go. That's once again a key difference in terms of how times have changed. You know, we are not in the same format, the same way when it comes to TV. All of this stuff is different because now all of the studios have their own little streaming platforms, and because they have their platforms, like that content just stays there. You know, the content isn't switching hands. Why would, like, I don't know, NBC? Why would NBC sell Friends to Netflix? Now, they used to do that because there was nobody else streaming. But guess what? They was like, yo, run that back. Run that Friends right back. Yo, run that other syndication right back. Why? Because we got our own platform. And like Didier said, there's no more syndication like that. There's no more like, oh, well, we sold this for X amount of money, so let's give you a piece of that. Nah, that ain't how it worked no more. So because they changed the landscape, it obviously makes sense. You got to change how you pay these people too. But thank you for that, Didier. I appreciate you. Cal Payne, what you got? Saw a writer on Twitter said she got $12K for her first network TV show residual. Her first for streaming was $4. That's crazy. Yeah. You know, I also heard another writer who said that it was like him and like another writer. I think they both got like 40,000 for a project that they did, and 40,000 sound like a lot. But again, let's not forget they in California. But like after commissions and stuff like that was paid off, they only had 30,000. Then they had to split that 30,000. So that's only 15,000 here and there. And that was like for like they had to work with that for months. 15,000 in LA. I don't know how long that. I mean, people will have bills. People got utilities. People got rent. Like, and that's all you got. That's all you got. Y'all know, like the national average for poverty is $30,000 in a year. And you know, just because you write one good thing doesn't mean you about to get something else. I've known some people that were like, or I've heard people who've known writers, and they would say like, yo, I would write maybe 20, 30 different scripts, 20, 30 different movies or TV shows or whatever, and one pops off. And that one that pops off, that's the one that feeds them for that duration. Well, then what happened to all the work that you was doing for all it? Listen, pay these people. Thank you, Cal Payne. I appreciate you. Deborah, what you got? No, I'm dying for Yellow Jackets. That show is good. I've heard the same thing, Deborah. I've heard the same. I started watching the first episode, but I just never finished. I wanted to watch it with the missus, but I don't think she was too interested. But I've heard nothing but great things about Yellow Jackets, and my heart goes out because, like I said, my heart was broken when Heroes had a whole good season. Oh my God, like the season was so good. Save the cheerleader. Oh, it was so good. And then just what was it? Season 2, season 3 just went to crap. I don't. There's nothing more heartbreaking for me in this space when you have invested your time in a show for years, months, whatever, and then all of a sudden you find out it ain't going nowhere, or it's going to go down in terrible quality. We've all experienced what it was like with Game of Thrones. They didn't have a strike, but that feeling, take that and multiply it. That's what it's like when the writers go on strike. That's the same thing right there. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate the contribution. Thank you so much. V, what you got? Disappointed about how this might impact From because we need answers. V, don't you put that evil on my life. Please don't do this. V, I tried very hard not to even bring it up. I didn't even want to talk about it. I will be devastated. I will be so hurt if From is affected by this whole strike. I would rather them just be like, you know what, we're just gonna pause. We're just gonna pause and we're gonna wait. Don't you give us no crap with From. From is already on thin ice. From is already giving us all these questions and not enough answers. No. I feel like Precious Mama, like, I don't even want to think about that. Oh, my heart would be so hurt. Thank you for that. I appreciate your contribution right there. Oh, I'll be so hurt. So hurt. All that work wasted. Zia, some actors have been trolling them. You know what? I saw something about that. Like some dude dressed up as a UPS person and was passing out like checks to the writers, but they were like blank checks or something. Like it was something stupid. But from what I heard, if we're talking about the same one, from what I heard, I think he does support the writers, but I think he's just stupid. Like I think people are just like his humor is just weird or something. But for the most part, I've seen more actors actually support the writers. Like Josh Gad was walking with them. Rob Lowe, I saw him out there with them. So like there are a lot of actors out there that are like, yo, we support them. And you know, shout out to a lot of them because like Jay Leno came out, passed out donuts and stuff. There's actually a fund, like a GoFundMe or something that is raising money. Like if you just want to put a couple bucks down, they'll go buy them pizza and stuff. Because again, these are not rich people. You know, it's a small percentage of writers that are like that are good. The rest of them are no different than any one of us that are just working a normal 9-to-5 job. So, you know, when they don't have a lot of money and they don't have potential gigs or jobs or contracts coming up, it's hard for them out there. So when they sit here and be like, yo, somebody gave us pizza today, I that probably goes a long way, you know. But no, I've seen more actors doing positive things, and I think that's really good. I mean, we just talked about how actors can't just like go on strike, but they can stand with them. They can go march with them. But my thing is this though, and I'm wondering this. I'm wondering because the actors, they need to make their negotiations with the studios too, and so do the directors. If all three of them strike together, that's when you're gonna have some real leverage. If the actors, the writers, and directors go on strike, producers, what y'all got? At that point, y'all really gonna be AOL. Y'all gonna be SOL. If all three, and I don't know the numbers of the dates on when that happens, but I know SAG, the actors are coming up soon. But if all three go on strike and nobody want to produce nothing, boy, listen, if that happens, if I was the writers, if I was the actor, I'd raise my demands. I'd be like, nah, yesterday's price ain't today's price no more. Not no more. Okay. We said we wanted 4%. Now you're going to come off 10%, homies. You know, whatever. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. Don't quote me on that. But I'm just saying, I hope that if it gets to that point, we're going to have to see some major changes. I don't know. Rims, thank you so much. Taps mics. Now, why are peeps keeping malice with the like button though? Is the love real if the likes can't get any? It's Friday, good peeps. Spin that dub, get that grub, and love on the likes. Thank you so much for that. Yes, please, if you enjoy what you're doing, if you like what you see, if you like the chat, just go ahead and give this a like. Appreciate it. And by the way, the likes are free. The likes are free. Hitting that like button, that's free. And hitting that subscribe button, that's also free. Listen, that sale is still going. All right. Just because of y'all, I'm gonna keep that sale going. Free subscriptions for everybody. That's right. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. I ain't charging y'all a dime. You ain't gonna get that nowhere else. I promise you. Thank you so much, Rims. I appreciate you so much. Let's go here. What do we got? Dion, what you got? They need to stop playing and pay them writers, man. Yes, they do. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because it is. Listen, I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel. I know this is just a week, a couple days. That's fine. Get y'all money together. Don't pass this on the consumers now. I don't want to see no Tiger King Part 5. Derek, what you got? Listen, hit the like button. It helps the channel. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. And it does help the channel. Let's see. What else we got here? Boom. Oh, y'all having whole conversations. I love it. I'm gonna have to come in and check that on the replay. All right. And Tyra, come on through. AI scripts could work until it only pulls from other AI scripts and the outsourcing can't fix and cater it to American audiences. That is going to be something. And thank you so much for bringing that up. I think you might notice stuff like that. Like, I mean, I watch different foreign films or different foreign television and stuff. And a lot of times there's a difference. There's a very big difference. There's a gap sometimes in terms of like the cultural understandings. There are certain things that we take for granted just because we've watched American television and movies and stuff. There are certain things that like foreign folks don't get because it's not for them to get. They're not part of this culture. So yeah, you can go outsource if you want, but that little secret sauce, maybe that little American sauce, I don't know, Western culture sauce, whatever it is going to be lacking. It's going to be lacking. And that's going to, again, like I said, the human element, we're going to pick up on stuff like that. Some of that stuff I'm not saying it's going to be obvious, but I think, let's say you watching something, you're going to be like, something feel off. Like something just don't, I don't know if I'm feeling this show. Or it doesn't have that it factor that connects with me, So, I mean, we just got done, and I mean, we're still in the midst of it, of trying to elevate diverse voices in the writing and just the field in general, where we can have someone like, Ryan Coogler write and direct a Black Panther, but it speaks to people on a cultural level, right? Or you can have someone, write these different shows that really connect. Ms. Marvel, right? Ms. Marvel connected with people, from the South Pacific or the South Asian, that demographic. Like it connected with them because it came from them. Well, if they're on strike and you go give it to, I don't know, let's say some Nigerians or something, like, is Ms. Marvel really gonna work? At that point, like, I don't know. I doubt it. So anyway, thank you so much, Tyra. I appreciate you. And I totally agree. The AI stuff, I think it does. It can only go so far. Rabia, thank you so much for the contribution. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Almost there. There we go. Tyra, back at it. Come through. I'm not advocating for AI, by the way. It's a bad temp fix. Yes, I agree. No, I'm with you on that. Like, again, I don't mind using it, but like bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I gotta write a whole scene, a love scene or something. Yo, AI generate a love scene with blah blah blah. Okay, cool. At least I got an outline. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be different if you just say like, just let me have this for a little bit, and then I'm still putting in that human component. So give me like an 80-20 mix. 80% human, 20%, AI at most, and I'll be fine with that. But I feel you on that. I'm not advocating for it like that either. I've seen Terminator. Cal Payne, what you got? As someone that used to live in LA, $15K is nothing. I know, bro. Man, listen, I think I almost spent that much just going to Disney World. Like it, like I understand, like I know people that have to live outside of LA, like 2-3 hours out, in the burbs, in the desert or whatever, just to afford so that they can kind of be near it, so I get it. It's Whoo, man. Listen, I think I bought a taco. No, what did I do? I think I bought a chicken sandwich and some sweet potato fries. And I think that joker cost me like almost $20. I was like, but did y'all just kill the chicken? Are there feathers in here? Like what? What? $20 for just the I ain't even talk about the drink. Just for the sandwich and the fries. That's it. $20. I could have had 3 whole meals over here in Chicago for $20 minimum. What? Let me go get that $5 holla real quick. I just go to Wendy's. Something. Whew, y'all tripping. 60 plus. What you got? I hope this strike doesn't affect front. Oh, please come. Oh, I hope it doesn't either. Oh, y'all heard me. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. It is. Let's not. Ms. McKeeba, thank you so much. Chloe Hillard, comedian, writes on Black Lady Sketch Show, gives a good breakdown on writer strike from Black writers' perspective. Creatives got to bring back to serialized radio dramas or podcasts. Yeah, I think I saw hers, but I didn't get a chance to download it. That's why I downloaded the other one. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I'm gonna have to go back and just make sure that was the one I saw. But yeah, no, and this is kind of like I said, we just started making strides. Black Lady Sketch Show is a perfect example. The vast majority, if not all, are Black women that write the sketches. They're writers. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Robin Thede, for like even giving them a platform to do things when they probably wouldn't have that opportunity elsewhere. This is the excellent way for them to be like, yo, look at what I did, put that on my resume. Now I can go out and do bigger, better things. So, it has a huge ripple effect, And if anything, it might push Hollywood backwards. You might not see a lot of diversity and inclusion because if you don't have those writers in the room, well, guess who's running everything? It's not a very diverse landscape the higher up you go. So I'll just leave that there. I don't want to lose no more subscribers. I lost enough. Let's see. So I think we're caught up. Oh, wait, nope. Hold on. Latrice, what you got? And how does copyright work for AI generated works? Great question. I don't know, but from what I've read so far, they're going to use the AI for things that are in the public domain. For example, Winnie the Pooh. It's been 100 years. The rights have reverted, and I don't know how the contract works, but apparently, if you wanted to make a Winnie the Pooh movie, you could do that. Because it's public domain now. It's out in the open. Anybody can do it, and nobody has like a monopoly say on that. And we just talked about the Christopher Robin movie that they're making apparently. So my guess is that AI are going to look at books and other properties and IPs that are already in the public domain and that are free to use. And somebody's going to be like, okay, remix this. Like, yo, give me Winnie the Pooh the ninja. I don't know, or Winnie the Pooh with some sharks. Like I don't know. Like they just gonna do something, but 9 times out of 10, they definitely don't want to deal with copyrights. So they're probably only gonna use it for things that are already public domain. Thank you so much for that, Latrice. I appreciate you. Jesse, what you got? Chicken sandwich at Wendy's in Cali is $9. God. That's highway robbery. That's highway robbery. Okay. It's just not right. That's not right. Thank you so much for that. That's not right. Not right. Baker, what you got? Thank you for the super sticker, Baker. That is so wonderful. Thank you. And shout out to all of y'all, man. Like for real, I really do appreciate like just the contributions and stuff. I already told y'all I don't ask y'all for money. I don't, but I'd be lying if I said it does not go to a good place. Y'all know it goes to the little babies, but I really do appreciate it. So I don't ever want people to feel pressured to donate or whatever. But I do want you to know that I do appreciate it, and it does go a long way. So thank you so much. All right, let's move on. I do have a couple other things. I'm gonna leave this up for now. The writer strike, only because there are a couple shows that we've watched or that people care about, and that we got a couple quick updates in terms of like whether they're going to be affected or not. So one of them is Rings of Power. It looks like that they are going to finish filming season 2, even though there is the writer strike, and they're not going to have the showrunners on set. Now, is that going to be a good thing or bad thing? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, having the actual showrunners on set, the head writers, it can make a big difference, because if they start doing something, or if the actor says or writes or does something a certain way, and the writer's like, you know what, that didn't work, they can make that change. They can't make that change now. So Rings of Power, if you was feeling that show and you was all into that, they gonna keep shooting. They're gonna keep shooting, but they're not gonna have a writer there. How that affects it, we don't know. Another one, House of Them Dragons. Okay, Them Dragons season 2 is going to continue filming during the writer's strike. All scripts were already finished and they were already turned in. Woo! Okay, so I guess that's somewhat good news. They already turned it in, so we're gonna be okay with Them Dragons. Okay, but this also kind of goes into what we were talking about before, about how the studios already have content. They already have things that have been submitted. They already have things that have already been done and completed, and they could just go shoot, or they can start shooting certain things and hope for the writer strike to end and not delay production. So they can work around that, because the thing is, if production is paused, that's going to hurt the studios. Because when you got to schedule stuff out, you got to pay people, you got to do all this other stuff, you got to get locations together, you got to pay taxes on things. The longer those things are done or postponed, the more money the studios are going to lose. They have to pay more money for that. And at that point, it's kind of like, well, why don't you just pay the writers? So it is kind of like a, game of chicken a little bit, because, and that's why I was saying, if the writers, directors, and actors, if they stood together, that's going to mess up the production schedule for the producers, and that is going to be a problem. But we'll have to wait and see where that goes. Let me grab this real quick. Latrice, can studios copyright stuff AI wrote them? I don't know if they can. My guess would be that whoever program, because you still need someone to talk to the AI. You still need someone who knows how to interact with the AI. My guess is that whoever they contract to utilize the AI, that way they can kind of sort of claim that. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm not a legal expert, but if I were the studio, that's what I would say. I'd be like, look, my hired writer put this in the AI and they made some tweaks and now it's ours. I guess, so I would lean yes, but I think that you would need some caveats along the way, along with that. Superman Legacy. So we also talked about this with James Gunn. He's wearing both hats. He's doing both things. He's a producer and he's also a writer. And it turns out that for Superman Legacy, he already turned in the first draft of his movie. And this was like a week before the writer's strike. It says the co-chief James Gunn turned in his first draft just last week, just days before the writer's strike, the Wrap has learned. So what does that mean? Because again, James Gunn runs all of it. This is his show, like what happens. So I think the likely situation is going to be similar to what we mentioned with Quinta Brunson, right? You already got the script, which means you can go ahead and shoot your movie. You can go ahead and shoot it. You can give the writer or you can give the actor their lines and everything, and that's going to be it, right? Here's the problem. James Gunn has constantly talked about how in the middle of shooting, he likes to do rewrites, right? So it could be all the way to the end. He's like, no, let's do this. Oh, no. I came up with a new joke. No, let's change this up. He does that as the writer and the director. Well, sir, you're also part of the WGA, if I'm not mistaken. You're a writer. And if you say you stand in solidarity with the writers, which he has in the past, that's going to be awkward because now you can't make changes. If you make changes to a script in the middle of shooting, you're writing. You're technically writing, and you are no longer striking or standing in solidarity with the writers. You're in violation at that point. So again, I don't know how things work on the set. I don't know if they got somebody eyeballing him the whole time or whatever. But you know, that script gonna have to stay strict. You're gonna have to be real strict with that script. You know, if there's any, I hope ain't no typos in there. You know, or something like I don't know, but that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be very interesting. But at the very least, I think that James Gunn will be able to do most stuff with this because production doesn't start until I want to say 2024 anyway. So they can go ahead and cast, they can go ahead and do whatever they got to do. And hopefully, I mean, the last strike was 100 days. Hopefully, it don't take another 100 days and they get their ability to write again and things can go back to normal. But we'll have to wait and see. But how does that make you feel about Superman Legacy? Are you relieved that the script has already been turned in? Are you nervous because James Gunn likes to do a lot of rewrites? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, some people might also be thinking like, wait a minute, not hold on, DC. You over here talking about Superman Legacy. But didn't you also talk to us about a black Superman? There was like 2 black Supermans. We had a Michael B. Jordan supposedly black Superman movie. Then we had a J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates black Superman movie. There was there's gonna be some blackity black Superman just running around, flying around in DC. Now, again, a lot of those things were in development before James Gunn showed up, but the question was asked to him like, yo, what's going to happen with these things? Are they still going to happen? Like, what are you going to do? Because he did already announce that Superman Legacy and other Elseworld stuff was going to be around. So what do we do with Black Superman? Well, James Gunn said this. Those 2 things are totally unrelated. That's an exciting movie. I know what Chantel Nong, who is the executive on that project, is extremely excited about it. So if it comes in and it's great, which I haven't read the script, and if the timing is right, that could absolutely happen. That's totally unrelated, but this Black Superman movie would be an Elseworlds tale just like Joker. Okay. So basically he's saying that like, you know what? The Ta-Nehisi Coates movie, it's not gone. It's not off the table. You still can have it come in and it will just live, side by side. Now, if you were here last week or if you've seen my last video where I talked about on the replay clip, where I talked about James Gunn said that he has a plan for some of these black characters in DC, some of the milestone characters. This was part of what I was talking about because somebody, I had a conversation with someone in the comments, and they were kind of asking like, well, it's like it sounds like you always complaining. It sounds like you're not happy enough, like why aren't you satisfied that James Gunn is giving you black characters? Y'all gonna have it elsewhere. Why aren't you happy with that? Like, why can't you just accept it? And I was like, okay, cool. Like, because it don't sound like you understand the perspective. Let me explain. I've told y'all before that there's levels to this. And one of my concerns has been, I don't want black characters or any minorities for that matter, but specifically black characters to be sidelined. I don't want them to be othered. What do I mean by that? Comic books are at the very bottom, but they're also the source material. And what I mean by the bottom is they are the bottom in terms of visibility. Everybody's not a comic book writer or a reader. It's not a global thing, right? A lot of people read comics, but not everybody, right? After comics, then you have animation. Animation is going to have, we have things in animation, right? We have black characters in the comics. We have black characters that are in animated movies, Vixen, Green Lantern, and that's great. TV is one step above animation, right? TV is more broad, it grabs more people. You get more eyeballs with that compared to animation because some people think animation ain't for them. But when it's live action TV, now you can bring people into the fold like Peacemaker did. Peacemaker was like one of the number one shows for, while it was on for a little bit. So we have Amanda Waller. We have the Green Lantern co-starring in a John Stewart co-starring in the Green Lantern live action TV series. That's great. Then you have this Elseworlds. You have the movies that go on the big screen, and that to me makes a big difference. The moment characters that are not very well known go onto the big screen, that gives a huge opportunity for more people to be exposed to them. We just talked about Guardians of the Galaxy earlier on. Wasn't nobody checking for them. Comic book readers weren't checking for them. But now, Guardians of the Galaxy is almost a household name, right? But then look at Black Panther. Black Panther been around for 55 years in comics. And I'll admit it, I wasn't even put on Black Panther first. I got on Spider-Man and Superman and stuff like that. But like Black Panther been around for 5 decades. And if you walked up to the average person and asked them who's Black Panther, they'd be like, who's that? What is that? The party? Like what, the Black Party? What are you talking about? So it wasn't until Black Panther got on the big screen that all of a sudden, wow, opened up a lot of eyes, and a lot of people were like, yo, Black Panther has now gone from, like, let's say a B-list character to now A-list. Black Panther can now be in the same, echelon as like all these other top superheroes because of the exposure. But now's the difference when it comes to the Elseworld stuff. When you talk about Elseworld, sure, these things are going to be on the big screen, and that's great. Joker made $1 billion. That's great. But it's not official, right? Just by the mere definition, it's Elseworlds. It's other. It's something on the side. Let me give you the example. It's just like baseball, right? If you sit here and tell me that the black characters, your 2 black Supermen, are only going to be in Elseworlds, and you mean to tell me the DCU is not going to have a leading solo lead black DC character? To me, it's just like baseball. You got the Negro League and you got the MLB. That's all it is. Oh, it's fine. Go play in the Negro League. You'll be all right. That's how it feels. That's how it comes off by saying it's Elseworlds. Joker doesn't have to worry about that. You know why? Because even though Joker is in Elseworlds, you mean to tell me you're going to have a Batman movie in the DCU and not bring in another Joker? Please. Joker already got 2 spinoffs. You got the Joker and you got the Batman Joker with Matt Reeves in Elseworlds. You will get another Joker in the DCU. So my thing is this: just make sure you don't make black characters in the DCU supporting characters or part of an ensemble or only co-stars. No, give them the same treatment that you would to all the other characters too. Superman got his own solo movie. He don't need no help. Batman got his own movie. Yeah, he might have Damian, but come on now. We've had enough Batman. You already went out your way to give Cara Lane, Supergirl. You already went out your way to give Supergirl a whole solo movie. I would argue that you got a lot of the more popular characters more than Supergirl that happen to also be minorities. You could give me a Static movie right now. I'll watch that over Supergirl any day. Just right now. So again, and I'm not blaming James Gunn. I'm not accusing James Gunn of anything. I'm just saying you're on notice, right? I've seen you use diversity and inclusion in your stuff, and I do believe that James Gunn has got a good head on his shoulders from what I've seen in terms of in that regard. I just don't want him to fall in the trap that has been the case for DC for a long time. DC been white for a long time, okay? And even when they do bring in a couple things, it don't come on the big screen. It ain't like that. I know some people was like, oh, but what about The Rock and Black Adam? First of all, I mean, okay, The Rock can identify as black. That's fine. Black Adam is not identified as a black character. That's a Middle Eastern something, character. Black Adam ain't from the motherland, not like that, at least not to my understanding. So, the only real black characters we got was Steel and Catwoman. Ugh. Not a good look. So anyway, I do like the fact that, that these are happening. I do like the fact that they're still happening, but at the same time, I'm like, look, don't be giving us the sideline with this stuff though. Go ahead. I'm not saying you have to have a black Superman in the DCU either. Just don't leave us on the sidelines in the Negro League. Just don't do that. Anyway, y'all let me know, what do you think about this news that the black Superman is still possible, still coming through, and that it's just a matter of time and making sure everything works out. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right. I lost all track of who. Okay, I got it. I'm back. Hold on. I'm so parched. Oh. Wait, there we go. Boss, what you got? Now, how Nigerians get into it? Listen. I was trying to globe hop and just find comparisons. I love my Nigerian brothers and sisters. Okay, come on now. Outsourcing to Nollywood would be ironic since we're partly influenced by generations of U.S. movies and TV. It would be ironic. It'd be full circle, wouldn't it? Right? But yes, I know. I feel where you're coming from. Again, that was no slight, no diss to Nigerians at all. Listen, I like me some of that falafel rice and all of that. Just it's all good. It's all good. I was about to say something real stupid and be like, but my best friend is Nigerian. I have a Nigerian friend. I do, but I ain't gonna say it. Y'all know how how some people love to call that one friend. Woo! Almost went there. See, this is what happens when you live. You almost be slipping up. You gotta catch it. Oh man. Matri, I'm sorry. What happened to your comment? I don't know what happened, but thank you so much for it. I'll see if I can find it. But I appreciate you nevertheless. Coming through with the super sticker as usual. Thank you, Ty. Thank you so much. Always reliable with the super sticker. Thank you, Ty. Boss back at it. Also, I can't picture the TV adaptation of Lovecraft Country without Misha Green. Facts. No AI could do that, could do what she and her Black Writers Room did. No to AI. This is 100% facts. 100%. Like, they couldn't even continue with their with what they wanted to do because they were so unique, right? So yeah, oh my god, I couldn't agree with that more. Great observation. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I really appreciate it. The real Django, what you got? Exactly, E-Man. Bro, you sound like you were born in the 60s like me. I was not, but but I feel you. The Negro League of the DCU movie, the proof's in the pudding with Gunn. He better show me something. And listen, that's all I'm saying, right? Like, you will not hear me say, oh, James Gunn is trying to, he's the man and he's trying to hold us down. I'm not going to say that because I'm going to let this man cook. But I'm also going to be keeping him on watch. That's all I'm saying. Because, to be fair, he did say he only announced part of the first chapter of Gods and Monsters for the DCU. Okay, cool. Can you put a little seasoning in in that chapter. Just a little, put a little Lawry's in there somewhere. Put a little lemon pepper something. You know what I'm saying? So, that's all. But I'm going to watch. I don't want to go through a whole chapter. A whole what? 2 chapters, 3 chapters. And we ain't even got a Black Solo movie? Like, listen. You saw what Black Panther did. You saw what Into the Spider-Verse did. Stop playing. Don't fall into this. I know there are a whole bunch of other things that you geeked out about that maybe, James Gunn, that you connect with. I get it. But there's money to be made. And the market has already proven time and time again, when you diversify, you actually make way more money. Anyway, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Real Django. All right. I think what are we moving on to? Oh, first, let me get this. Puma, thank you, brother. Thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate you for that super sticker. Do y'all want to talk about this Fantastic Four stuff? Like, I hate talking about rumors unless like it's actually confirmed. But y'all know, like, do y'all want to talk about it? Let me see if y'all just let me know if y'all want to talk about it. Just no, the Fantastic Four, all them rumors, because it'd be a whole bunch of nothing talk. Like people just okay, y'all good? We skip it. If we can skip it, I'm fine with that. I give y'all the 2 minute, the 2 second thing. Okay, look, real quick. Mila Kunis was supposed to play the Thing in the Fantastic Four. She went on the talk show and said, "Nah, it wasn't me, just playing." And then Margot Robbie was supposedly gonna play Sue Storm, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Why? Because Margot Robbie gonna get offered everything. She gonna get offered everything. Okay, and just because Mila Kunis had lunch with the director, it don't mean that she about to be Sue Storm. And maybe she will. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever generic female actress you want to put in Sue Storm, it's fine by me. I don't care. Whoever, just do it. I got bigger fish to fry. Okay, that was y'all Fantastic Four. That was it. I'm sorry. We ain't gonna do that. When we get some real news, when we get some real stuff, then we'll talk about it. But I don't get caught up in all that stuff. Okay, because people be hitting me up. Did you hear that the Thing is gonna be a woman? Like, look. Look. Stop. When it happens, we'll talk about it. The only reason I even brought up the Adam Driver thing was because that had been confirmed from more reliable sources. All this other stuff has been this person, this random person. No, I don't care about none of that. I don't care. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, we did Superman. Secret Invasion. Quick update with Secret Invasion. This has been probably one of my most highly anticipated Disney Plus shows, even above Loki season 2, and I love Loki. We saw the trailer earlier, when it debuted. This looked like Marvel was getting back on track. This had the tone, the feel from Winter Soldier. And this really started, you ain't get that slapstick, goofy humor nonsense or whatever that's been going on. Again, it works for some stuff, but it don't work overall. This looked like the stakes are high. You got Skrulls, you got Nick Fury, you got government operations and all that. I'm sitting here looking at this like, okay, y'all looking like a real show. Y'all looking like y'all really taking this seriously. And I've been saying for the longest, the biggest problem with the MCU, y'all need to grow up. Ain't no problem introducing new characters. There's no problem giving us a little comic relief here and there. But I'm going to need y'all to grow up because it's been 15 years of the MCU. 15. Do you know what that means? That means that if you started watching this when you was 15, you 30 years old now. You done went through high school. You done went through college, hopefully, or whatever. You done got your 9-to-5 job. You're a whole adult. You might even got some kids. It's time to grow the MCU up. Okay? And Secret Invasion is giving me this impression that this is where we're going with this. Now, I know I made some of y'all feel old as hell. I'm just gonna try and ignore that because I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. But we do have some good news for Secret Invasion, and I do like this. It is about the runtime for Secret Invasion. And right now it is saying here, it is noted from Empire Magazine that the series includes 6-hour-long episodes, and that's going to give Sam Jackson more space to explore his character. Now, this does not guarantee that every episode is going to be at least 60 minutes long. However, so some entries might clock in around 40 to 50-minute range. And, I think that at this point, we can kind of expect that. They got these episodes bloated up like a bag of potato chips or whatever. So, it's like 60% air and then like 40% chips. But I'm okay with that. If you can give me 40 to 50 minutes every week, that works. And because now you're giving me enough story, you're giving me enough developments, you're giving me enough stuff to hopefully tell a good story. Now, personally, 6 episodes, that's it. I mean, I'm here for the longer runtime. I do appreciate the longer runtime, but only 6. Y'all couldn't get a little extra, maybe one more episode in. Don't y'all come in here, don't you Obi-Wan in us. Don't Obi-Wan us with this now. This did not work for Moon Knight. Don't play now. So I like the fact that we're getting 60 minutes. I'm not big on the idea of only 6 episodes. I mean, you're talking about a whole Skrull invasion. That's only 6 episodes? Like, because that sounds like something that's going to have deeper ramifications. I mean, here's the thing. In the comics, the Skrulls were like damn near a whole saga. It was the Skrulls were causing problems. Secret Invasion in the comics? This wasn't like, oh, let's just do this in like 4-5 comics and that's it. So, okay. Hopefully they're giving us, the meat and potatoes with this. I'm hoping that comes through. But y'all let me know, how do you feel about Secret Invasion? Having 60, minutes per episode. And again, that might not be the full episode, but how do you feel? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right, Nelson, what you got? 50 to 55 minutes works, but I believe it when I see it. Me too. Because if I sit here and see the end credits start at the 30-minute mark, I'm gonna be real mad. But nah, I feel you on that. I'm with you. That is we're gonna have to wait and see. But so far, it's promising news. Damn it. Now's the time when we have to talk about Blade. I have told y'all, and I'll repeat this again for the new people. There would be no 15 years of the MCU if Blade via Wesley Snipes had not come in and saved Marvel from bankruptcy, saved Marvel from the superhero genre in movies. Okay? Shout out to Wesley Snipes. Now, I'm also going to say this because I am one of those type of people that if I'm wrong about something or if new information comes to mind, I will always be humble enough. I'm never going to be arrogant about it to correct myself and to make sure I get the information right. Last week, I told y'all that Blade has to be one of the most disrespected characters in the MCU. My main premise for that, the main reason why I was saying that was because Blade was announced at the 2019 Comic-Con convention, and it was announced with everything going on in phase 4. So naturally, I'm like, yo, y'all got all this phase 4 stuff happening, but nothing with Blade? Like, that's a problem to me. Now, it was brought to my attention. I mean, I just did a little research and I found this out. But apparently, that was not the case. And I did not know this. So Kevin Feige actually revealed and said, he clarified right after that Comic-Con convention that while it was made alongside the studio's phase 4 announcements, Blade is not part of that grouping. Okay. All right. So, in other words, Blade was never meant for phase 4. Blade was never meant to come out during the pandemic and stuff like that. However, so I own that. I own that now. Okay. However, y'all remember when Blade was supposed to come out? Blade was supposed to come out November of 2023. Now, things happen. Okay, fine. Production got delayed. I still have my eye on y'all, Marvel. Y'all still let a whole script be suspect and be terrible and have lackluster scenes reportedly for a Blade script. Then you, for whatever reason, you sat on that script. For whatever reason, the director dropped out like a month before production, and you had to go and basically start from scratch. So that's still an issue for me, because call me a little skeptical on this. I don't think y'all do this with Deadpool. I don't think y'all would let that happen with Fantastic Four. I know y'all would definitely never let this happen with an Avengers movie. I just don't like the fact that Blade, the single property that basically enables you to exist, did not have enough oversight. That was a problem to me. Y'all let this slip through the cracks, and that's not okay. Now, with that said, there was some good news that happened, because while Blade had been struggling, it did find a new director, and there was a little hope that things were going to get better. And you also had Mia Goth, the horror queen, joining the ranks. So I'm like, yo, we got Delroy Lindo, we got Mia Goth, we got two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali. Okay, everybody gets a bump in the road. I understand, but we back on track. And then we got some good news. That good news was Marvel added True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto. I'm gonna just call him Nick because I don't know if I said his name right. And that right there was some positive news. It says True Detective creator has signed on to write Marvel Studios' Blade movie, reuniting Mahershala Ali, who starred in the 3rd season of True Detective. Says Nick is going to be taking on writing duties, working from a draft of a script by Emmy nominee Michael Starberry, which has been said to be darker than most MCU movies. All right. And Blade is currently slated to hit theaters September 6th, 2024 as the final film in phase 5 of the MCU. Okay. So Blade is supposed to come and end phase 5. Okay. Now, first of all, 2024, Mahershala Ali about to be 50 years old by then, because I think he like 49 right now. I don't like is Blade 2 gonna be shot at the same time? I'm just saying, like, I need y'all to use our people while we got them here. Don't be sitting there talking about like we getting another Blade movie 10 years later and Mahershala ain't even like able to do it. No, don't do this. But here's the good news. The good news is we got a good writer, because True Detective is a pretty good show. I've watched it. I haven't watched the 3rd season, but I think that this was a good move because Mahershala Ali reportedly was not feeling good about the fact that the script was boo-boo, right? Previous script was booty juice and the action scenes weren't hitting. So they got rid of that. They got another writer. It was a little late. Y'all sat on that for a whole year, but y'all eventually got another writer. Okay, fine. And now you went and got another writer that has been proven, done great stuff, and has had good rapport with Mahershala Ali. They work together. They're fine. That is fantastic. We just got done talking about what happened. Now, here's the thing. I'm a little concerned because you went and got this new, better writer 1 month, maybe a couple weeks before production was going to start. This remind me of that whole thing with the Fast and Furious when they lost their director and they just was like, yo, on the plane, I'm going to rewrite this whole thing in like a couple days. And maybe this writer is very talented. But I've told y'all before, writing scripts don't happen overnight. And you mean to tell me for this property that you owe your whole existence to, you're going to bring in a writer a month before production? Okay, maybe this writer rewrites things. Maybe it works out. But y'all, we got a whole writer strike. And y'all know what that eventually had to come to. Once again, Marvel hits pause on the Blade movie due to the writer strike. And that is breaking news that just happened. Marvel Studios is shutting down pre-production on its vampire thriller starring Mahershala Ali, which was set to begin filming next month in Atlanta. I am extremely disappointed with this. I am frustrated because, like I said before, yes, things happen, but I don't, again, I'm only going off of what's reported. I feel like the ball was dropped in terms of the oversight for Blade and everything. How a bad script was able to exist for so long and you didn't get on that earlier, that's a problem. And now you have to deal with this writer strike and you could barely do anything. You could barely sit here and go shoot. You could barely go do anything. And we don't know how long this strike is going to last. And however long it lasts, you got to push that production date down. I told you, we were supposed to get it, September of 2024 or whatever it was. Now, might be December, it might go into 2025. We don't know. So, outside of just massive disappointment, there's really nothing else I can say about it because, it's until these studios get it together, until the writers get back, this was my nightmare. This was my nightmare that the writer's strike was going to affect things that we really care about or things that we were really looking forward to. And Blade was definitely top on that list. So Blade is going to be delayed. But the only positive thing I can think of at this point, and I'm gonna try and end this on a good note. The one thing I can think about in a positive sense is now y'all got no more excuses. Y'all got y'all director, y'all got y'all cast, y'all got y'all writers. I'm not saying the writer got it right. I understand it's still a strike. But now y'all better cook. I need y'all to cook. Matter of fact, I want y'all to put this in the slow roast. Put it in the little oven or whatever. Let that sucker marinate for a little bit. Make sure that as soon as you are able to put that sucker in the pot cooker and marinate it in all the juices, and y'all can get ready to like serve that up. I want this to be one of the best movies Marvel's ever made. Because y'all got time. Y'all gonna delay it. I told y'all before, I will wait for quality. I don't need y'all to hurry up and send me a bunch of stuff that, deteriorates and it's not even all that good quality. I'll wait for good quality. Y'all on the clock. TikTok. Y'all let me know, what do you think about the Blade update being delayed and how we've been doing this for a while. Y'all knew this movie was gonna happen for a while. Just letting it sit there, getting cold. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. Deborah, what you got? I need an appetizer, salad, main course, and dessert. Give me a full episode of action, drama, and no comedy. I am with you on that. That sounds delish. And I hope that's what we get in Secret Invasion. I hope that is exactly what we get. Thank you so much, Deborah, for that comment. I really appreciate you. And thank you for supporting the channel the way you do. Zia coming through. Blade should have still been ready with a serious script and director at least 1 year ago. Phase 4 or not. If Ali walks, I don't blame him. Super unserious. 100% agree. 100%. Like, I would be hurt if he walked away because I was super excited when he got it. I was like, my God, the two-time Oscar winner, Mahershala Ali, what? This man, what? Wesley Snipes already done gave this man his blessing and everything. Like, the man can act. Okay? I wouldn't be mad at him, though. Like, bro, you're not getting no younger. Like, we ain't even start yet. And you know the problem with that is, if you wait too late, now don't get me wrong, I understand black don't crack, but you wait too long, you know what they're going to do. They're going to replace him. And I'm not talking about with a recast. Obviously, I've already told y'all I'm cool with recast. But I would not be surprised because in the comics, they gave Blade a daughter. I don't know why, but they gave him a daughter. Y'all only going to have him be on for like one movie and then all of a sudden replace him with his daughter? Like, is that what we about to do? Because y'all dragged y'all feet on this? Can't even let him cook. Thank you, Z. I appreciate you. The Don, thank you so much. I feel like Mahershala is going to give up on it. He might. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. I would not blame him at all. I mean, this man could be going out doing other things. You know, when you become an Oscar winner, you get a lot of scripts sent your way. You get a lot of proposals sent your way. You're a hot commodity. And I mean, the last time he won was a couple years ago. Like, the longer you wait, the more irrelevant you become and the less of a draw you are, and that's less profitable for the studios. So yeah, time is ticking and that's not helping. It's not helping at all. Thank you so much, Don. I appreciate you, man. AJ, what you got? I just got back from the theater from watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I see what you mean about the hallway scene. Oh, it's excellent. The hallway scene, you gonna know it when you see it. It is fantastic. Fantastic. James Gunn knows how to shoot some action now. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I'm glad you had a good time with it. But yeah, that was definitely a highlight of the movie for me. Loki, what you got? SJ Evans, Miss Harper. Evening, all. I'm late. You're not late. You right here on time. And we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much all day. Who else I saw? Wait, there we go. Baker, what you got? I don't like how they keep playing with Blade like he didn't start it all. First, they played my boy Wesley. Now this. Listen, this is what I be saying. Like, y'all better put some damn respect on Blade. Just like seriously. It's just, I know this would never happen with any other major property. And I don't feel like, I don't know, but I don't feel like Blade is getting treated with the proper respect. Yes, again, things happen, delays happen. I understand the industry. But at the same time, I know when studios and the powers that be, when they want something to happen, they will move heaven and earth to make it happen. I just don't think that energy is passed over to Blade. And that's a shame because Blade saved the company. Sim, what you got? Thank you so much. Been enjoying the live. Just a little love. Thanks as always. Sim, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Means so much. Thank you so much for that contribution. I really do appreciate it. Um, all right, let's move on. So, okay, just real quick. So, what we just saw, obviously there's a writer's strike and stuff like that, but this is kind of sort of leading into Marvel's new plan. And part of that plan has been, in my opinion, moving in the right direction. And like we said, we just saw this with Blade, where they brought in an experienced writer, a quality writer, and apparently that is going to be part of Marvel's new MCU script strategy following the Phase 4 struggles. So it says here, if you have been paying attention, and this is according to one of the hot scoopers out there, if you've been paying attention in the last few weeks or months, you would notice that Marvel has been spending a lot more money on writers. Just today, we saw the news that Nick Pizzolatto, they brought in as the new writer on Blade, just like Josh Friedman, the expensive Sarah Connor's Chronicles writer. He's a big name writer in this town. They got him for Fantastic Four. Lee Sung Jin, the beef creator, they just hired for Thunderbolts. Going on, he says, so pay attention, guys. They are not going out to the newbie writers anymore. They are going out for some heavy hitters for writers. That's the Marvel secret that no one has talked about yet. They are now paying for writers. All right. All right. So I'm cool with it. I'm glad that, Blade at least is getting one of these top writers. Okay. Okay. Let's keep that going because we know Phase 4 was lacking. It was lacking. We got a couple, one or two hits, one of there, one, a couple things pop off here and there. Overall, it was lacking as a phase. And I've told y'all from the beginning, the heart, blood, sweat, everything is writing. Writing is what makes all this stuff work or fail. So, yes, there's a writer's strike, but I don't know exactly how Marvel's going to work with that or not. Maybe they're going to pay them. I don't know. Maybe they're going to pay them, do something different. I don't know. But either way, I like the fact that they are invested and understanding, we can't get this to just anybody. We got to stop giving these movies to inexperienced people because it's not translating very well. Like literally the reputation you have for an entire phase is that it was average or mid. That's not a good look. That's not going to make the dollars. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So I like this new strategy. It seems like common sense. You want better product, get better writers. Simple. So anyway, does this give you a little confidence that Marvel is investing in better quality writers? Does this give you a little bit more confidence that Phase 5 and 6 and Marvel moving forward, maybe it's going to get better? Maybe things are going to turn around. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, we are getting to our last topic of the night. Y'all, I don't even know where to begin with this. So, one thing I've noticed so far is that when it comes to the Flash, Ezra Miller is obviously the most controversial subject in general. And apparently there are a lot of people, like I was literally having a conversation with my friend earlier, and I was telling him about some of the stuff going on with the Flash, and I was like, yeah, the Flash does look good, but my goodness, that Ezra Miller seems to be a problem, right? And I mean, this is a general, type of audience type of guy. He's not the guy that's watching or following all the movie news. He was like, "What happened with Ezra Miller? What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, you didn't know? Interesting." Well, Ezra's, terrorized Hawaii and Iceland and been arrested for trespassing and spitting other actors and assaulted women, then assaulted women again, and then stole some stuff. And yeah, look, and that's just the stuff we know that happened. Then there's the other list of things that Ezra is just accused of. So again, there are things that Ezra has done and been convicted or charged for. Because some people are like, Ezra wasn't charged. And yes, Ezra was. Ezra was charged. However, Ezra pled guilty just to get the plea deal and pay like a little fine. But Ezra still got charged. So let's not sit here and try and cape for Ezra like Ezra didn't do nothing. Just because some of y'all, not y'all here, because I know y'all been following this, but some people out there don't follow the news and just want to blindly cape for Ezra. There's nothing to cape for here, okay? But Ezra is a problem. And that is for things, again, that Ezra has done, that Ezra has admitted to, that people have witnessed, and then all the other stuff Ezra has been accused of that's still hanging in limbo. And I guess if you really want to be technical about it, there could still be other stuff we don't know that happened. We don't know if other people are going to come forward. We don't know if Ezra did some other crazy stuff that just has not come to light. We don't know. But Ezra also has gone into rehab. And I have said very clearly, I champion that. I'm happy for that. I love anybody getting whatever help that they need. But Ezra has said that they've had multiple mental health complex issues. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Mental health is not the excuse, or it does not recuse you from accountability and consequences. That's the difference. Anywho, so again, for those of y'all that don't know, like Ezra's done some very crappy things for a long time to other people, right? And please, by the way, don't bring up the whole, what about Robert Downey Jr.? That's not the same thing. One, we didn't have social media while Robert Downey was doing drugs and doing all this other stuff out there, mainly to himself, by the way. He put himself more so in harm while Ezra's been attacking other people and violating and warning and threatening other people. So we didn't have social media back then, because if we did, we probably would have clowned and held Robert Downey accountable as well. Second, Robert Downey, outside of his crimes, being very different, he actually stopped. He went to jail. He got fired. He said even that getting fired was the best thing for him, because it was a wake-up call for him to get his life together. He went on Ally McBeal or whatever, started to build himself back up. And then I believe he got fired for that, I think, because he was still doing drugs or whatever. And then Jon Favreau gave him a shot with Iron Man. And ever since then, Robert Downey was like, I'm staying clean forever. The difference, and again, stop comparing Robert Downey with Ezra. The difference is Robert Downey was allowed to fall. Robert Downey was allowed to hit his face on the ground and hit rock bottom. Robert Downey was able to feel the consequence of his actions. Ezra has not yet. That has not happened with Ezra. Ezra ain't go to jail. Robert Downey went to jail for he was sentenced for 3 years. He only served 1 year. Ezra ain't seen no jail. What consequences? What accountability has Ezra gone through? The closest we've gotten so far with Ezra is the fact that they posted a statement of an apology. I'm sorry, that's not enough for me. I know if I was one of the victims, I'd be like, what, a statement? I want to see some acts. I want to see some work. I want to see some contrition. I want to see some repentance. I want to see something else. Something to match the level of problematic behavior that was done. So again, don't bring up Robert Downey. It's a terrible comparison. It's a terrible comparison. And here's the thing. I'll say this too. I have no problem forgiving Ezra. As long as Ezra does the work. If Ezra does the work, and if Ezra feels contrition, if Ezra really feels remorse and does the work and builds themselves up and stuff like that, I don't have a problem forgiving Ezra like that. I'm not going to be like other people out there who still can't forgive Michael Vick. Nah, my man did his time. My man put in the work. He apologized. I can forgive him. I can give people second chances because I would want a second chance. But I don't want no free card. Nobody gets no free card like that. You have to go do the work. You have to actually act like you know the things you did were wrong and you put in the work. So when Ezra puts in the work, the way Downey started to do when they went to jail, accepted and all that, then we can sit here and be like, okay, Ezra, go ahead, do your thing. Congratulations on your recovery. But until then, I'm on your neck. Until then, we pressing all day. But however, I did not even mention, I forgot to tell y'all. Did y'all know that The Flash is so good? It's so great. We've heard James Gunn call it the greatest movie. We've heard Zaslav say it's the best thing in the world. The Flash is so good, y'all gonna forget all about Ezra's crimes. Yes, that's right. Because according to the production designer, they not even worried about Ezra Miller's history because the movie's gonna be so good, people will forget about it. I'm sorry. I had to I had to hit him with the Sagat laugh. I'm not gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget. You think we're gonna forget? Is Hawaii gonna forget? Are women gonna forget? Is Iceland gonna forget? Is the actor that Ezra spit on gonna forget? Who gonna forget? Not me. I'm not gonna forget. I'm on your neck. Are you kidding? Oh, that was all that. Let's read this comment. Let's read it. Where did this come from? Who is this? Oscar winner Paul Osterberry. Osterberry says he's not too concerned about how the story surrounding Miller will affect the film. People will forget that. I'm sorry, that was just stupid. Okay, sorry. Back to it. People will forget that. Okay. He said nothing that Miller did. He said noting that Miller did a superb job playing the titular hero as two distinct characters, which required production to shoot the film in two different chunks, with Ezra switching roles every few days. Oh, look at that. Ezra worked so hard to play two roles in the same movie that y'all gonna forget everything Ezra's done. Y'all gonna forget the fact that Ezra trespassed in front of a family's home and stole a passport and wallet. Y'all gonna forget that Ezra got caught trying to steal liquor. Y'all gonna forget Ezra tried to threaten people's lives with violence. Y'all gonna forget the first girl that Ezra physically assaulted. Y'all gonna forget the other girl that Ezra assaulted. Y'all gonna forget the fact that Ezra spit on actors. Y'all gonna forget that Ezra has done anything that has been negative because Ezra played 2 roles in the same movie. Ha! Move over Eddie Murphy because Ezra's in town. And I just mentioned the crimes that we know of. Clearly, when you watch The Flash, you're not even going to think about the minor grooming allegations. You're not going to think of that. Why would you? Why would you care about a minor at the age of 11 or 12 allegedly being groomed by Ezra Miller? Why would you even care about, I don't know, the potential child endangerment of having a 1 or 2 year old baby walking around and guns and drugs are all around and a bullet reportedly was in their mouth? Why would you care about? But Ezra played 2 roles. Forget about it. Don't nobody care about them kids. FTK. Ah. Flash is great. Flash is great. So I wish I had this level of cognitive dissonance. And I wish they would have followed up with that production designer. And I would have wanted to push them back and be like, do you think you would forget those crimes if, I don't know, Ezra did those things to someone you knew? Would you forget? Let's say they did it to your neighbor. They did it to your family member, to one of your friends. Would you forget? So, for one, there's a level of apathy where there's a huge disconnect here. And this was an incredibly dumb comment to make, incredibly stupid and insensitive, because there are people that have been terrorized by Ezra Miller. And again, I'm not even talking about the allegations. I'm talking about the stuff that's hardcore facts that as the police got involved, Ezra got arrested. I'm talking about hardcore facts. Don't come in here trying to cape for Ezra against facts. But this is also something that I've talked about before when it came to James Gunn and Peter Safran. Earlier, we talked about how Zachary Levi from Shazam 2 was talking too much. And Zachary Levi was sitting here sharing articles that basically were not putting The Rock, another fellow colleague in the same studio, in the best of light. And I was sitting here saying, you know what? James Gunn and Peter Safran, y'all were brought in to clean up the mess that has been WB for almost a decade. There has been more drama in the studios of WB than I've seen in an average soap opera. It's been incredibly messy. Nobody should have to know the inner workings and the back and forth of this person did this person sued this person, this one screwed this person, that. We shouldn't know all of this behind the scenes drama. But WB takes the cake when it comes to the nonsense. Y'all literally changed executives like 3-4 different times. Y'all literally have like screwed over directors. You have like actors that are sitting here accusing you of terrible things and terrible work practices. Y'all are a mess. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. James Gunn and Peter Safran were brought in to clean this up, Start over. Hit the reset button and make sure we not focusing on all this nonsense. We just here to get some movies. We just here to get some TV shows. We just here to get some animation, something. It is imperative, in my opinion, that if you want to break free from that legacy of nonsense and messiness that has been the reputation of WB for the last 10 years, James Gunn and Peter Safran need to tell their personnel, shut up. Shut up. Don't even talk about Ezra. If you're going to talk about Ezra, you know what you say? Ezra was great in the movie. Go see The Flash. That's it. That's it. We don't need to hear. Why would you even talk about Ezra's crimes and then sit here and act like people going to forget about him? People not going, what? What? When are y'all going to use that logic for other people? Oh, well, you know, he only beat his wife, but guess what? You know, Dana White, even though he hit his wife, if you watch that UFC match, you're going to forget about that. You see how dumb that sounds? You see how insensitive that comes off? That's not good optics. The last thing, first of all, it's a good thing that they already left Ezra on limited press. Matter of fact, we don't even need to hear from Ezra. We don't need no press from Ezra. But the rest of y'all, the rest of the DC personnel, there needs to be some media training where people are like, hey, you know what? If anybody asks about Ezra, Ezra was great, and go see the Flash movie. That's it. You think you think I'm making this up? You think that that's not a good idea for me to suggest that they need to tell everybody to shut up, that they need to tell people, yo, stay on track, don't be talking about Ezra, leave us alone? We got some more. Michael Shannon, aka Zod, defends the Flash co-star Ezra Miller and wants fans to cut them some slack. Ooh. First, we gonna forget. First, we gonna forget because the Flash is just so great. And now you want us to cut Ezra some slack? I told you I wasn't gonna forget. Is Ezra gonna cut Hawaii some slack? Iceland, the two women, the parents that were accusing of grooming minors, is the people that Ezra trespassed against. I mean, do they get slack too, or like does Ezra give them slack? How does the cutting of slack work? That's where I have my question with that. Like, where? So we only give the slack to the perpetrator? We just gonna forget the victims, right? Forget the victims. Don't nobody care about them. But we got to cut Ezra some slack. I need to get to his quote because I want to make sure we put him in proper context. Michael Shannon goes on to say here, if you're talking about Ezra Miller, I thought Ezra was lovely, very kind to me when I was there. It's difficult to talk about, but I always give people a lot of slack in this business because there's a lot of people in this business that have issues, and some people have more privacy than others. Anytime somebody is out in the spotlight getting picked on, I feel for them, even if it's warranted. It's a horrible situation. Ezra is being picked on? Picked on? So is this reverse victimization? Is that accurate? Like the perpetrator becomes the victim in this case? So my question is this. Apparently he doesn't want, and I like Michael Shannon, by the way. Like, I think he's a fantastic actor. So let me make sure I make that clear. But I do have a question. And again, if I was interviewing, I'm not on Vanity Fair, but if I was interviewing, I'd say, like, well, sir, let me ask you this. What's your line in terms of who gets picked on or not? What's your line? Is that open to everyone and anyone? Do you apply that standard to, I don't know, a mass shooter? Why is the mass shooter getting picked on? I feel for them. Do you feel for them there? Or is it something like, someone got caught, jaywalking, slap on it? Like, is that your line? Or is your line theft, beating on women, assaulting women, trespassing, allegedly grooming minors? Like, what's your line on where we should and should not cut people slack? Because I'm very confused as to what you're trying to say here, because it sounds like we shouldn't chastise bad behavior in society. I don't care if they're a public figure or private figure. It don't matter. As a society, as a culture, we have this thing that we do, which is when we see something bad, we get on that. We talk about it. Because we don't want that to be excused or normalized. What kind of slack am I supposed to cut for Ezra Miller? The only slack I've said for Ezra Miller is go get some help and come back when you better. Come back when you do better. That's the only amount of slack Ezra Miller ever deserves at all. Let's give Ezra Miller the time to go get some help, to go put in the work. But we also gonna keep Ezra Miller held accountable and face whatever consequences that come with their actions at the same time. We can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. There was another caveat to this before he said that. My man went and said, but I hear there's some, I've got to admit, I'm not looking at the trades every morning, keeping my finger on the pulse of things, but I know there's been some issues. Sir, this is what I'm talking about. In other words, you don't know what you're talking about. And I get it. Nobody's saying that you got to be up to date with every single thing. But if you don't know, don't talk. Maybe. That's not hard. If you don't know, don't talk about it. Don't say nothing. I don't know nothing about astrophysics. Y'all don't hear me talking about that? Once again, James Gunn, Peter Safran, get everybody and anybody that is associated with this movie, anybody and everybody associated with WBD, to shut up about Ezra Miller. You got two things to say. Ezra Miller was great in this movie. Go watch The Flash. That's it. Why is it so hard? Like, why is this difficult? I'm done. I'm done. So this man was like, well, he was nice to me, so he wasn't nice to the other actor that he spit on. So that make him great. This remind me of when who was it? I think it was like Terry Crews and Gabrielle Union, where Gabrielle was like, yeah, there was some racism that happened on whatever show she was on. And Terry Crews was like, well, it was nice to me. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Like, just be quiet. Just be quiet. It's not for you to talk about no more. Whew. Okay, I officially end the live right now. Bah! Dang, I hit the 3-hour mark. I'm sorry. I couldn't get there. Anyway, y'all let me know, what do you think about caping for Ezra? All these defenses. I'm not even going to talk about how this wouldn't even be considered for other actors or other people in this position. I think y'all already know that. But just on the bare basis of it, all of this stuff is dumb. Like anyway, y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, let me grab these comments and then we're gonna mosey on. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm caught up. Here we go. Loki, what you got? It's not that younger writers are inexperienced. Their previous projects have been small and non-formulaic, needing to tie together a universe. Sure. I mean, look, I'm sure that, the experience is going to be relative. There's all different types of writing. I mean, there's writing for TV shows, there's writing for movies. There's probably different types of experience when it comes to the different genres as well, because like just because you write one way doesn't mean you write the other. But yes, I fully acknowledge that. Yeah, you're right, but again, that's what the previous writer talked about, right? Like the previous one that we posted, where she was like, look, my 20-year experience as a writer should not be comparable to somebody that walked in through the door. And I think that's true with almost any profession, right? Like your experience should matter in some way, shape, or form. And you should be paid accordingly, for that. Boss, what you got? As long as that terrible everything but the kitchen sink writer from Multiverse of Madness doesn't get anywhere near Phase 5 movies, I'm good. I have not heard anything. My man's probably still got a job. I just hope and pray he listened to the criticisms and got better. I mean, because some people have done bad things and come back and written better later. I just hope he learned his lesson. That's all I can say. But I understand where you coming from. I really do. Thank you so much for that. Nelson, what you got? I'm going to feel conflicted seeing the Flash. How can we hold Ezra Miller accountable, even though he's in the movie we want to watch? I mean, I've gone through this myself, right? Because like I don't believe that the Flash is going to be the one of the greatest comic book movies ever. I don't think it will. It might be the greatest DC movie that they do, but I couldn't say, like, that's big talk, right? Now you sitting here talking about like it's Endgame, Infinity War, Winter Soldier. That's real big talk. But the way I rationalize it in my head, because I was sitting there thinking like, man, do I do a watch party for this? Like, I don't want to be celebrating this and got Ezra in the back. I don't know. But I just think about all the other people. I think about all the other people that have put in the work. Because forget Ezra Miller. At the end of the day, Ezra Miller is replaceable. I told y'all that too. Like, ain't nobody going to these movies for Ezra Miller. Nobody. Like, it's not necessary. But I'm going for Michael Keaton, the GOAT, Batman. I'm going for that. Like I'm going for the story. So yeah, it's gonna feel a little icky going to watch it, but at the same time, my hope is that they get rid of Ezra. Like I hope that after this, they're done with Ezra and it's a wrap. Because to be honest, like one of the biggest problems that I think DC is gonna have is if they keep Ezra back, as Flash. If they bring Ezra back, that's going to be a problem because once again, we still have not seen Ezra face actual consequences for for their actions. Even if Ezra is nice and healed up and all that, you still don't know what could be coming up. Do you really want to risk? Let's say if we're WB, do you really want to risk bringing Ezra back and potentially having one of these lawsuits or one of these parents from the minors or whatever of the grooming allegations? Do you really want to be in the middle of production and then boom, a lawsuit gets dropped, or boom, some charges get filed? Do you really, or somebody else comes into the mix? Is Ezra Miller worth that risk? For what? Who has been saying, I can't wait to see that Ezra Miller movie? Not I. Have you? Has anyone? Ezra Miller ain't Tom Cruise. Ezra Miller is not The Rock. And The Rock just proved to you, stardom don't really matter. So at the end of the day, it's like, look, y'all need to chill out with this. Ezra is not worth the risk. I understand maybe they want to be quiet and they don't want to say nothing, right now. But here's the thing that kills me about it. Y'all had no problem, WB, y'all had no problem being quiet as a church mouse while Ezra was terrorizing Hawaii and Iceland and everything else. But now y'all got the nerve to sit here and actually let people talk about Ezra and defend him like that? Why don't y'all stick to y'all old policy and just be quiet? That'll go a long way. But one way or another, to answer your question again, this stuff is not going to go away. We're not going to forget. It's always going to feel awkward. It's like going to a R&B, a concert with some of your favorite artists, and then they're like, oh, by the way, R. Kelly going to show up. Now the man makes great music, but it's confliction. Thank you for that, Nelson. I appreciate you. Peter, what you got? Cut Jonathan Majors some slack first because he is innocent until proven guilty. Ezra Miller crossed the line for me and deserves consequences. So here's the thing. Marvel's actually doing exactly what I just said. They're being quiet. You ain't heard Marvel say one word. Nobody from Marvel has stepped up and said one word about Jonathan Majors. Maybe they think he is guilty. Maybe they think he's completely innocent. Doesn't matter. We don't know anything about it. The only thing we've known is that they've been in conversation. And that's fine. Maybe they thinking of backup plans. Maybe they're going through evidence. Maybe they, whatever. They're having conversations. But you see how they ish is not all, the dirty laundry is not all out there in the streets. We're not hearing all these crazy quotes from Marvel production assistants or this person, that person. We're not hearing none of that. So Marvel is actually doing exactly what they need to do. Be quiet. Let the stuff play out. If a man is innocent, cool. Go back to business as usual. If the man, for whatever reason, gets proven guilty, okay, cool. Move on. Do something else. But they are actually doing exactly what WB should be doing, and that's at least being quiet. Thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate that. I think, Baker, what you got? Is my boy Jonathan gonna get the same support, love, and care? So far, I mean, I can't talk to the general public and what the general public is gonna do or not, but so far, at least from a studio perspective, ain't nobody talking out of pocket, ain't nobody talking out the side of their neck, and I think that's valuable. I think that means something. The studio hasn't taken any action. Jonathan is supposed to have his court date in 3 days, and hey, maybe everything that the lawyer has produced is, going to have them drop the charges. Well, if they drop the charges, that's it. We back to business. So we'll see. But so far, it does look like Marvel has been doing a pretty good job at, like, again, keeping this just quiet, at least on their end. They can't help us because we nosy, but they're doing exactly what you would hope, which is don't do nothing at this point. Just wait it out. But thank you so much, Baker. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. Wait, no. We got one more. David, what you got? People need to boycott this movie, in my opinion, and that's how DC will learn. I love Batman, and I'm not gonna see it Otherwise, I think we're feeding the beast if we support it. So, I totally hear you on that. It's not going to happen. It's very similar to how I was telling people a boycott was never going to change Marvel's mind. And if a boycott was never going to change their mind, it's kind of like, well, it's not going to hurt, right? I don't think WB is going to feel affected. And I also don't think enough people know or either care about what Ezra has done to even join in on the boycott. And they really think that this movie is great. They've been hyping this up a lot, and they're doing a lot of stuff to get this movie a lot of press. And again, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, yeah, if enough people would join in, and if there was enough outcry against Ezra Miller, that would be the case. But if you've noticed, they've been playing that mental health card as well. Well, Ezra is doing good. Ezra's, in rehab. Ezra's on the road to recovery. They're playing up the mental health card kind of like they've done with a lot of other stuff. Not necessarily WB, but I'm just saying in society. So they're playing the PR game. I don't think it's very good, but I don't think Ezra Miller is a big enough star where a boycott would even make a dent, because people are not going to this movie for Ezra Miller. They're going for Batman, which is why you see Batman more in the trailers. They're going for the Flash. And maybe this movie doesn't make $1 billion, but it's got people excited. I can't sit here and lie. That trailer was enticing. It was pretty good. But hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I just don't see it being a possibility, given the current state of affairs and culture today. But thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, David. And thank you all for hanging out with me this late. I'm sorry I couldn't do the 3-hour limit. I tried. Ezra. Hold on. I actually got to say thank you. Shout out for Low Key for the $20 cash app. Thank you so much, Low Key. I appreciate you. And Trina, this T-Ville? Okay. Love your lives and videos for the $5 cash app. Thank you so much, Miss T-Ville. I appreciate you as well. Thank you all, man. Like, seriously, I know I said this before, but like, I see all you guys participating, hitting up the super chats. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. I've told y'all before, this is a labor of love. I'm not getting paid $1 billion to do this, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm here for y'all. I'm gonna take y'all money to feed my babies. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna feed the kids now, So I do appreciate it so much, and they appreciate it as well. So much love to y'all for that. Whether you've donated, or not, if you're just subscribed, if you're leaving a comment, all of that stuff matters. All of that stuff helps me just get up in the morning and continue doing stuff for y'all. So it's really appreciated. So I don't want y'all to ever think I take that for granted. And I respect y'all time. So, snaps. Hold on now. I thought I was. Rega, thank you so much. Solidarity to the writers. The execs can just take a pay cut until they revise the revenue system. Totally agree. They make so much money, they barely gonna miss it. Maybe a yacht doesn't get paid off. Oh well, go sell your yacht. You'll be all right. Go on your other yacht. But yes, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for that. But again, appreciate y'all. Y'all know the routine. Go wash your hands. Please wash your butts thoroughly. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good time. Go watch something good while TV and movies are still good. And I will see you guys very soon. Keep in mind, I'll be doing more From videos. Just posted one today. I'm going to post another one coming up from season 2, episode 3. I want to say is coming out. We'll be covering that. But y'all enjoy yourselves.